Hello, Johnny. Hello, mother. Hello, father. What's happening, everybody? How's everything going? Sabai, sabai. Okay. Today, Saturday night here in Bangkok, and I'm home. Actually, I just got back from the gym. Seriously. Just 10, 15 minutes ago. Ran in, got the setup, and here we are. So, today we are going to discuss yet another guy who claims he was kicked out. He got the boot from Thailand. I just stumbled onto his video, and what I'll say is he's a young guy, seems like a nice guy, you know, but a bit of a drama queen. And he's claiming he got kicked out of Thailand. And of course, I would say, oh, well, the truth is usually somewhere in between, but that's not the truth. He's full of it. And, like I said, it seems like a nice guy. It's not a personal attack on the guy, but I hear this quite often. I've been hearing this for years. Oh, they gave me the boot. No, they didn't. They didn't give you the boot. So we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to go over a little Chowderhead story I have. We'll talk about that. Seems like everybody wants to hear this stuff. So send me your letters if you got one, and don't send me any bullshit letters, please. I'd appreciate it. I don't want to have to go through them. Hello to everybody. Hello to everybody in Europe and Australia and wherever, in America, wherever you are. Sawadee Tankun. Sawadee Cup. And good evening. Here we are. Now, before I get into anything right now, before I get into all my hellos and everything, wow, the bot, rather the dollar dropped below 34 and went way down. It was down to about 33.33, and now it's up to 33.94. So hopefully, I like to see it above 34. Really, anywhere above 34.25, and I'm happy. And man, it's been brutally hot today. Really, it's been brutally hot the last couple of days. Today it got up to 103 degrees, and it was the feel-like temperature was 112 degrees. We've been cranking our air nonstop. Last month's bill, 8,600 baht, so that's the highest it's ever been. Lots of people telling me this, that their bill is the highest it's ever been. Currently 94 degrees. Today, like I said, it was a high of 103, low of 86. Right now, the feel-like temperature at 8:05, 102 degrees. So it's brutal out there. 59% humidity. The air quality is a bit cleaner, though. It's 81 right now. So that's good. It's better than it has been. Good morning, good evening, Alan, Mr. Allen, excuse me. Today I want to give a shout out. Well, first of all, I got to give a shout out to Mr. Michael Lee. Definitely. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Also, Mr. Bruce Smith, Mr. Richard Cook, and last but not least, the one and only Johnny Siam. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And, I don't know who else is here. All these people clamoring for me to do a night stream. Then when I do the stream, it's like it takes everybody a while to get in. I put up a couple of, I put these streams up in advance, like 24 hours in advance, 12 hours in advance, whatever. So I have another one tomorrow, 8 o'clock. So please be there. And what's that going to be about? I don't even know. What is it going to be about? It's about why Thailand isn't your home. And for some people, it's definitely not their home. I feel like it is my home. I don't want to badmouth the government or the country, but I think there's some things that could make it feel a little more homey. And I'm not asking for much, and I don't think that most of the people are, but there's a letter that I'll read from a guy, and he's got some good points in it, and we'll go over that and what I think about it, what you guys think about it. So, anyway, yeah. So, but before I go on, I gotta talk about this guy. I'm gonna name him because he's, I'm not trying to badmouth the guy. I just think he's a bit of a drama queen. His name is Ethan Lusby. Ethan Lusby Travels. He's got a video that he put up about almost a week ago. Thailand is kicking me out and I'm not happy about it. Now, some of you may remember if you've been around, there was a particular someone, Mr. Bernard, who whined and cried about how Thailand was kicking him out. The thing is nobody gives a shit what you want. You want to come here, oh, it's so beautiful, I love the people, I want to have more time to see the country and eat the food and sample everything. Yeah, I understand. And I want, $50 million in the bank and a Lamborghini parked in front of my house. That doesn't mean I'm going to get it. The government is out, and, I completely understand this. The government does not care about your sweet dreams. The government cares about what is good for the country. So if they just let anybody stay here forever on a tourist visa, what good is a tourist visa? You're not a tourist. You're not retired. You're not working here. You're not married to somebody. You are technically a tourist. Now, what really got me about this guy, he's going, oh, I was doing all these visa runs. That's probably what it is. I've done numerous visa runs. Dude, you don't even know what you're talking about. He didn't have a visa. If he had a visa, then maybe he could have extended it, or maybe he could extend his no visa entry. And that was what he was on. He was visa exempt. Come here, Sid. I know you want to play. Come here. What are you going to do? I want you. Here we go. Yeah. Don't worry about it, all right? There you go. Say hello. Say hello. There you go. It's being nice today because I let him in. I don't usually let him in. I don't like it when he comes in here because he's always trying to tear something up, and I don't want his cat hair everywhere, and the thing is he likes to jump up on tables and stuff like that, and I always look at it like he's got his butthole right there. He's walking along the table, ow! And when he sits down, little fucker, that's a love bite. When he sits down, he rubs his butt on, his butt's on the table. Well, that's where we eat. So, gets on my nerves a little. You want to suck my finger? He doesn't do it with me, but with Alex and Nicholas, he likes to suck their finger. All right, that's enough. I don't want you biting me. Anyway. Okay. So, this guy doesn't even have a visa. He's just coming in. He's an American guy. He comes in. He can stay for a month. Then he can get an extension. He goes out of the country, right? He comes back in. He gets another visa exemption. I don't know how long he's been here, but I think it's over 6 months, over 180 days. Well, they've kind of clamped down on things. And some people go, oh, well, why did they do that? Thailand's fucked up. Every other place they're better. No, they're not better. They're not all better. India's not any better. There's a lot of places. Try getting into Ireland with your Thai wife or your Thai girlfriend. See how difficult that is. Okay? Really. There's a lot of other places that are difficult. And the thing is the poorer the country, usually, with the exception of places in Africa, the more poor the country, the cheaper it is to stay there. Because they want that money. Now in Thailand, listen, Thailand is a prospering nation. And while they may not be prospering as much as they might think, and they want tourists, they have plenty of tourists. They want more. They want to beat their record of 40 million. I understand. But this guy, the last guy, they told him, get a retirement visa. The last guy from years ago. They told him, get a retirement visa. He's like, I don't want to get one. Well, then guess what? You can't stay. How long are you going to you're going to be here on a tourist visa? These are not the old days. This is not 30, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. When you just come in, you can stay on a tourist visa, you pay, $200-300 and you can stay all year and you don't have to worry about anything. The days and the times, they've changed. And even the guy before, he didn't want to play by the rules. And he got pissed off and he had to leave. I don't know what happened to him, and frankly, I don't give a shit. But this guy, listen, this guy's got his thing going on. He seems to be doing well. He's happy, And even though he's supposedly getting kicked out, he's good-natured about it. So, but I see all these comments from people. Oh my God, I don't know why they're doing it. You poor guy. Now, you are not, and this is one point that was made that I really like. You are not a genuine tourist on a tourist visa. This can lead to legal entrance offense in some countries on a tourist visa, and you can be refused entry into Thailand. Now, they didn't refuse him entry. He got into the country. They just said, this is the last time that you're coming in without a visa for like another 6 months. So they're not going to just let him go back and forth forever on a visa exemption. They're not going to do that. And just a month ago, he's saying, why everyone is moving here. Everyone is not moving here. Generally, it's older people, not younger people. He's talking about $1.50 for a dozen eggs. Well, dude, if you think that that's cheap, I understand. Okay, maybe it's cheap. It used to be a hell of a lot cheaper. So, to me, it's like I see the prices going up and up and up and up. And everybody, oh, that's so cheap. Yeah, okay. Talk to me in another 5 years about how cheap it is. We'll see. And I said it a long time ago. Probably 15 years ago, I said, this place is changing. You will see some major changes. And sure enough, I said, give it around 10 years. And around 10 years later, some major changes started happening. They started tightening all the loopholes. Things started progressing as far as the infrastructure and things like that. And, that's the way it goes. It says here, countries' immigration officers would consider this the same. You keep coming to a place on a tourist visa, eventually they're going to go, let me see here. One way or another, I lived in Thailand for 25 years, periods of it. They're telling them, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? So my point is, I don't want to drone on about this, but, you got all these guys going, I'm really sorry that this has happened to you. It didn't happen to him. He allowed it to happen. Take fucking responsibility. This is what really gets me. This guy, what really got me is this guy's whining and crying like a little girl about this. Now, like I said, he seems like a nice guy. I don't mean to get personal. I'm not trying to get personal. But there's another guy. You have to leave because you are not following Thai immigration law. And visa runs are the worst way, and even though he's not getting a visa, are the worst way for someone like you to prolong your visit in Thailand. Read up on the rules and you will have less troubles. You can get a respected visa agency to represent you for a 3-month visa, and they can arrange re-entry visas for you. Let's see what here. You can do something like get an ED visa, although that he's like, if I really want, I can get an ED visa and I'll just study online for an hour a week, which is bullshit. So you got all these guys who they think they know everything, And let me tell you something, after all these years, I don't know everything, and I'm very hesitant to even say I'm an expert. I don't even like that word. Because the reality is, I just have a bunch of experiences racked up, and I remember some things. Sometimes I forget. Some things I can just research very quickly. But I can tell you that you are not going to be able to study online, study Thai online for an hour every week, and then you're going to just be able to stay for years on end renewing your visa. That's bullshit. Let me see here. It is very sad that you and your dog have to leave Thailand. You were having a lot of fun. We enjoyed watching all the cool things you did. Okay, well, I mean, you know. Thailand is kicking out an excellent advocate for their country. I'm subscribed to this channel because I enjoy your perspective on interesting places, so I'll follow you wherever you go. Okay, so it's not that big of a deal. And the thing is he's an advocate? This guy's been here for like 2 months, 3 months, whatever. He's been going back and forth to all these different places in Southeast Asia, which, you know, I mean, I've done that 1,000,000 times over. It's not a big deal. I mean, but like, this is how some people think. They just don't get it. This system is not set up for you. It's set up for their country. They don't want a bunch of knuckleheads coming here, especially some frickin' 20-year-old kid that they don't know what the hell he's doing. The guy comes in and he goes, I'm a YouTuber. And they're like, well, you know, no, you're a media person. That's what you should do. But, you know, they don't do that. You are not only the victim of idiocy. When I go to the U.S., they say I am persona non grata because they lost my exit visa. I don't know what the hell this is going on. Let's just see here. I'm so sorry to hear this. Oh my God, I can't believe they've done this to you. Look into a self-defense visa in Chiang Mai. It falls under the ED visa. First of all, I don't think this guy's going to be really the kind of guy that's going to get into self-defense. If he is, more power to him. But let's just say he's not exactly a manly man. And, you know, again, these things generally now, I believe, you know, they suspended the ED visa for a while. I think it's back in use now, but I think you can only do it for like 3 months or 6 months or something. I don't think you can't just do it year after year after year. You're not going to be able to do that. Anyway, enough said. Okay, and it says right here, here's another guy. For most visitors, visa on arrival, it's not a visa on arrival. You have to get the terminology right. A visa on arrival is for someone who comes from a country and then they go and they stand at a counter and it says visa on arrival and you fill out the paper and you actually get a visa in your passport. This is a visa exemption or a no visa entry. There is a difference. And you really, I know it sounds like it's semantics, but it's not. You really need to learn the terminology here, especially if you're going to live here. And that's the thing. Guys come here, they're here for a month or two, and they're like, oh, yeah, I live in Thailand. No, you fucking don't. You're a tourist. You don't live here yet because you don't know if you're going to stay or not. Once you stayed here for a year or two and you know you're going to continue to stay here, then you live here. Anyway. Let me see here. Everybody's like, oh, you can't, you know, visa runs, can't you do another visa run at another place and then come back in? You're not doing a visa run. That's the thing. You don't have a freaking visa. So this guy's a bit of a chowderhead himself. Dude, do your own research. That's the thing. You're like this big traveler, world traveler. Supposedly, from what I see, I mean, I didn't really do a whole hell of a lot of research, but if you're going to come in, I say it all the time. What is it? Proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Or proper preparation prevents piss poor planning. And honestly, if you came in here and you actually thought you're just going to be able to come and go and come and go and come and do whatever you want, and then, no, it's not going to happen. So for all you guys out there who are like 20, 25, yeah, I'll just go there and, you can go in and out of the country. I'll just go from the... Well, if you want to go in and out of the countries, I'll give you a piece of advice. And, it gets old because I've done it. I've been there. I've done it. I've done all the shit. You name the visa. I've only decided from a diplomatic visa. I've had damn near every visa. Okay? You go out of the country. You stay here a month. You extend 1,900 baht. Boom. Now you're here for 2 months. So you're here for a total of 2 months. This is with no visa. You could get a visa in the States, but they're not going to give you a 1-year visa. So you go out. Now you're out. It's 2 months. Go stay in Cambodia or Vietnam or Indonesia or Malaysia and stay there for a month or 2. Then you come back. That way you're separating your stays and there's a period of time in between and it doesn't look like you're actually living in Thailand. That's how you do it. You don't have to play these freaking games. Oh, they're kicking me out. They're not kicking you out. You want to be a chowderhead, that's what they're going to do. They're going to treat you like a chowderhead. Well, sorry, buddy, you got to go. They don't give a shit. Since when does a government really care about you? Keep that in mind. And the Thai government doesn't care about the foreigners aside from, are you bringing money? How much money do you have? Now, if you want to drop a bundle of cash, you can get yourself an elite visa. You can do all kinds of things. You can buy yourself a condo, whatever you want. You can do all these things. But you got to be willing to pay the cash. That's what it boils down to. All right. Enough said. Let me see here. Is there anything else? Everybody says, some other country is better. Okay. But if he just did what he was supposed to, he wouldn't have this problem. He should have talked to me first. He should have done some research. If at the very least he didn't have to talk to me, he could have done some research. And he would have been doing just fine. Oh, people are $5 here for 12 eggs. Well, here it is. I can get 10 eggs for 40 baht or 10 eggs for 50 baht, and those are better and bigger, a little bit bigger. So, that's 60 baht. It's not $1.50. If he's getting them for $1.50, they're probably shit. Morning, Scott. Morning. Oh, hey, Jim. How you doing? Would you move to Thailand today if you were staying in the U.S.? Probably not. Because you could not get... Hey, John. You could not get in and stay as easily as when I did. When I came here and stayed, it was a piece of cake. Proper planning and preparation prevent. Wait a minute. 3, 5, 7. Yeah, you're right. 7 P's. Proper planning and preparation. I knew I was saying it wrong, but thank you. Yeah, when I came here, it was very easy. In fact, in Nana Plaza, I've talked about this before, and it was a piece of cake, but in Nana Plaza, you walk in, and you pass, Big Dogs has been there forever. It's on the left-hand side. And then there's the little money exchange on the right-hand side, and at night there's I don't know if he's still there, the hamburger guy that made great cheeseburgers. But if you keep going in a little ways, and as soon as you can turn left, there were some stairs that went up, and then another little set of stairs, and in the corner was a Visa place. And, almost 30 years ago, me and my buddies used to go in there. We'd go, hey, we got to get this Visa. How much is it? It was like 10, 12,000 baht. You give them the money. Boom. They would actually take your visa to the border, your passport, rather, to the border and stamp the passport. And I think I did that twice. I don't remember everything. I'd have to, really sit down and write out the timeline and look at my old passports, because I'm on my 3rd passport now since I've been here. And the first one was like 7 passports thick, but they don't do that anymore. Now you got to get a brand new passport if you fill up your pages. So yeah, but in the old days it was a lot easier, and you could get a tourist visa for a year, which actually turned out to be 15 months. But you could get that very easily, and you could stay, and they would let you do that. Now, the reason that they changed it is because there's so many knuckleheads and criminals who come here and would get in trouble, or they would find out about the people, and they'd be like, wow, we need to tighten this down. And, you know, can you blame them? Really, can you blame their government for wanting to tighten up the, tighten up the ship, so to speak? I don't blame them one bit. And things changed slowly, and then eventually, it got to the point where people were like, hey, man, why are you doing this? It's not cool, man. We're leaving here. Fuck you, Thailand. And, there's some things I don't like about the place, but I still love the place. And it is my home, our home, and, it's the way it goes. Sometimes things happen, and if you got to do what you got to do. You got to make a change. You got to make a change. Now, the guy I was talking about before, the old guy who used to be in the stream all the time, was freaking whining and crying about it. Oh my God! Oh my God! I can't believe they're kicking me out. They're not kicking you out, asshole. You're allowed to stay here. But when your time is up, you need to leave, and they're not going to let you back in. So they didn't kick you out. They're just not letting you back in because you don't meet the criteria. And because you don't feel like, or you're not able to meet the criteria, you're fucked. And you don't like that. And the same goes with this guy. All right, let's move on to the Chowderhead stuff. Stop! Scott, stop! Stop what? I don't know what you're talking about. Whatever do you mean? Before I go on, guys, remember to leave a thumbs up, subscribe. I got to tell you all this stuff. Click the thumbs up, subscribe, check the description for whatever you want to know, whatever it may be. Follow me on Rumble and AmericanInBangkok.com. I promise you I am getting to some videos specific, unique only to Rumble in the very near future. I promise you. But I have been extremely busy lately. And like I said, I just got back from the gym. That's why I'm all sweaty. It's just my second visit to the gym today. I'm putting in the work. That's my new phrase. Put in the work. And I'm putting in the work on the channel, streaming every day, streaming on the weekends at night, and I'm putting in the work in the gym, and I'm going to start putting the work in it. I don't know if it's going to be the language school or whatever it is, but I'm going to put in the work about my Thai, because I need to elevate my Thai, because I just don't have to speak it all that much. And, the less you use it, the worse it gets. The more you use it, the better it gets. That's simple as that. And then, of course, we have this trip coming up in about 3 weeks. And if you don't know about it, it's basically Ireland, Portugal, U.S., Ecuador, Netherlands, back to Portugal. Back to Portugal again for a couple of days on the way back to Bangkok. So that should be pretty epic, and we'll be gone for like a month. So I got to get some of these videos done. I'm going to stream as much as I can while I'm on the road. You know how that goes. And who knows about the timing? I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. Anyway, here we go. Boom. Ask Me Anything letters from Farang. Now, I'm not always going to read from this book, but I just felt the need to. Like I said, tomorrow, the stream is going to be, it's going to be about some, what the hell's going on? Already this stream right now has already been demonetized. Now there's no music, so it has to do with my foul mouth and the subject matter probably, but we'll see. Anyway, tomorrow, living in Thailand doesn't always make it your home, and for some people, some of the things like the dual pricing, the pain in the neck to maybe extend your to get your extension of stay, or to do a 90-day report and all these kind of things. They just grate on, if you've been here a while, and I understand it, they grate on your nerves. One thing that grates on my nerves, I got a family. It's very difficult to get a permanent residency here for me. And that sucks, because then, you're at their, you're whatever the whim of the immigration department is, that's what you have to abide by. And while generally they don't cause many problems, every once in a while there are mix-ups, there are problems, and sometimes they just do cause a problem because maybe you forgot to provide something, you forgot to show something, whatever it may be. So I understand to some extent, but that's what we'll be talking about tomorrow. Why Thailand isn't home for some of the people who live here, some of the foreigners who live here. Anyway, this book, it's on Amazon. Just look up my name. Both my books are on there. And I was just thinking today, this is the other thing. I got to put in the work on the book and get it done. I've been dicking around for years, and I need to get on it. So, but let me see here. Which was the one that I was going to read to you guys? Was it this one? Okay. Yeah, I guess it was this one. All right. Now, I'm sure some of you have had this happen to you, and I've known several people who this has happened to. I've known several people who have not listened to me. They have come to be friends with me because they came here with someone that I knew, and then we hung out, and we got to be friends over the next couple of months, and the next thing I know, the guy's throwing everything he has at some chick. He's giving her every freaking asset that he has, and he ends up going back home with his tail between his legs. That's happened too many times to count. But this guy lost his best friend to a Thai prostitute. His name is Tony. I lost my best friend to a Thai prostitute. Hi, Scott. Freaking gnats. I want to apologize in advance because this is a letter. This letter, now, I didn't change their spelling for the most part, but once in a while I did. What is this? All right, I guess I have nothing. I don't understand. Explain me. These freaking gnat. I don't know. You can't see him, but I can see him. Yeah, a lot of spelling in this I did not change. I really cleaned this guy's up a little bit because it was so bad, but I want to apologize in advance because this is a letter that's going to be a pretty long letter. Allow me to provide a little background. While in the Navy, I became good friends with this guy who was going through a bad divorce. He had married a Japanese woman. She ended up divorcing him and pretty much left him to start over. Okay, well, if the guy was in the Navy, I'm just going to say, it just sounds, for some reason it sounds to me already like the guy is young. Maybe 3 weeks after his divorce, he went to the Philippines, found a go-go girl in a bar there, and started a relationship with her. 2 weeks after meeting her, he managed to get her pregnant. Lucky for him, she had a miscarriage. I wouldn't call it lucky. That's kind of, all right, I understand the point, but did you have to say that? You have to say, I guess he was lucky. How about she had a miscarriage, so they didn't end up having the kid? He started sending her money monthly and decided he wanted to marry her. And I interjected. Already this guy sounds screwed up. All the people in command tried to have an intervention to persuade him not to do it. Eventually, they decided to grant his request to marry her, but as an end result, they pulled his security clearance. He had been under investigation for something unrelated, but they had no findings and decided they were going to give his clearance back. However, due to his weird choice, they decided maybe he shouldn't get it back. This led him to being kicked out of the Navy. He took his Filipina back to rural Indiana in America, and the relationship quickly deteriorated. When a girl is living on the farm, In the Philippines. She doesn't expect to end up on another farm. Oh, so I guess he took her back to a farm. The relationship ended with her being spiteful, mostly due to boredom. Then he asked her to contribute to paying their household expenses. After getting her green card, she took an extended trip to see her sister back in the Philippines and just decided to never come back. Well, that's kind of sad. During this time, kinda. During this time, I convinced him there was nothing left to salvage. She wasn't going to give him any closure. She moved on with her life and found a new relationship. I told him that it would be better to start divorce proceedings and move on or risk falling into depression. Why? Doesn't sound like it was very good at all. There was not much love there. Why is that? Why would that lead him to being depressed? You know, why would you get depressed over something like that? Somebody, tell me, anybody, enlighten me.
Oh my God! I brought her to America. She left me, never came back.
Well, then fuck her then. You don't need her. If she didn't come back, she don't want you. You know, if most Filipinos don't think that way, because you know, religious things tend to factor in. That doesn't mean she wouldn't screw around on him, but anyway. She wasn't going to give him any closure. She moved on with her life and found a new relationship. I told him that it would be better to start divorce proceedings and move on or risk falling into depression. This is approximately 4 years after he got kicked out of the Navy. When he got out, he got a general discharge. Because of this, I persuaded him to try and get disability from the VA and then come to Thailand to use the GI Bill to go to Webster University campus in Cha'an. He went for his VA appointments and found out he was deaf in one ear and needed to have surgery and that he would get 70% disability. Okay. 70% disability at E5 with dependents plus what is it? BAH, I forget something, and housing. From the GI Bill, and rent for his house would net him around $3,000 a month. I told him he was set up nicely. All he needed to do was come here and go to school. 5 months before the term starts and before he would be arriving in Thailand, we spoke on the phone pretty much every day. The conversations were mostly of him asking me to tell him the mistakes I made so that he would not make the same ones. I told him to be careful dealing with the women, not to spend too much time in the bars, and to remember there were many normal women running around. Now, before I go on, it's so hot here. We got the air on. And it's freaking burning up. I'm still cooling down from my workout. I don't get it sometimes. I just don't get it with these guys. This guy, I mean, this seems legit, right? It seems legit to me. He's getting all this money, and he's worried about some broad. And why would you go? I mean, if you're gonna go, I don't know. I just don't know how to put it any other way, and I've said it a million times. If you want something from a chick in the bar, an actual working girl, a prostituta, why are you gonna marry her? Aim higher. Get a chick who's got a university degree, you know, who's graduated. Get a girl who's got a good job, who's got a brain. And I'm not saying that, you know, she's got to be a rocket scientist or she's got to be, you know, a neurosurgeon. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying find one that can take care of herself. Hey, Joe, how you doing? Find one that can take care of herself. Find one has a good head on her shoulder, a good family. That's how you vet them out. You got a good family? Is the family nice to you? Is the family decent to you? Is the family got the hand out? Give me. Are they, what did I say the other day? Are they a positive or a negative? Do they add or subtract? It's very easy. Do they add or do they subtract? She adds greatly. Okay, probably a good thing. Oh, she subtracts greatly. Like my one buddy, I haven't talked to him again, in years, many, many years. I heard about him, but uh, oh yeah, I got 100 G's in the bank. By the time that chick was done with him, he had 10 grand left, and he was on his way back home. After, I'm going to start a business, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Boom, she took him to the cleaners. And she was a hoe. She wasn't even a good chick. I get it. A lot of good chicks, good looking girls, they're working and doing their thing. They open their legs, they give you the triangle, and the next thing you know, oh my God, it must be love. It was so good. That ain't love. Get it right. Go to a high-end shopping mall. I mean, go to a nice restaurant once in a while. Go to the gym. I'm sure you'll eventually find something. Now, some guys are just flat out ugly. Let's face facts. So, you set your height, set your sights at a reasonable height. Or have a lot of money, whatever it is. Or a big schlong. And, the other guy, all you got to do is be clean. And eventually it'll happen. But you got to be patient. Until then, there's always this. There's always Nana, Pet Pong, wherever you want to go. Some soapy. There's other places that you can, take care of your needs. All right, let me go on because, I get a little carried away sometimes. But anyway, I moved to Bangkok to take a job and now had 2 places to live. So I offered to let him rent my car, an apartment in Hua Hin, for 10,000 baht a month. That's pretty cheap. The apartment was fully furnished and the car was in good condition. I advised him to keep his expenses low so he could enjoy traveling and not have too many obligations. Fast forward to his arrival, my girlfriend and I picked him up from the airport and he stayed in our condo in Bangkok. For the first week, everything seemed pretty normal. It was unfortunate that I had quit my job around the time of his arrival, which meant that I would not be able to party hard with him. That upcoming weekend, I took him to Pattaya because he had never been there, and on the first day we drank and hung out, not really spending much time in the go-go bars, mainly giving him the lay of the land. The next day we walked down Soi 6 where we were invited into a bar by 2 young Thai girls. We went in and spent an hour or so there. I didn't pay the girl much attention, been there, done that, instead playing music from YouTube at the bar while he conversed with his new companion. This is the other thing. It's always nice to get a compliment. Oh, you look so good. You're so cute. You're so handsome. You don't look like you're 70 years old. No, you look like you're 20. It's nice to get all these compliments. But you got to take it with a grain of salt. And this is something, think about this. I don't hear it much anymore, but I used to hear it all the time. You would have some Thai girl ask you, am I beautiful? Am I beautiful? And it's like, what? You want me to tell you the truth? You want me to give you the bullshit story? Because if you were that beautiful, if you were so beautiful, wouldn't you be on a catwalk? Wouldn't you be modeling somewhere? Really? A chick's a 9 or a 10, she's going to be modeling. Especially nowadays. She's going to be making big bank on Instagram or OnlyFans or some other way. They'll find a way. Good-looking chicks find a way. They're an 8 or 9 or a 10, maybe not an 8, but a 9 or a 10, forget about it. So when they ask you, am I beautiful? What are you supposed to do? I never said yes. And they go, you're so mean. I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you the truth. You asked, I told you. You gotta man up. You gotta man up, man. I'm the most beautiful girl, and you did this to me. Fuck off. You're not all that beautiful, honey. You're cute. That's what you do. That's what happens with these guys. Anyway, I don't want to get into it too much there, but let's see. At 8, he was asked if he asked the girl if she wanted to go out, and she said yes. She wanted to go to insomnia, so we took both girls and got pissed drunk. In the morning, I woke up, knocked on his door to get him up before checkout time. We met at a British pub around the corner for breakfast. After breakfast, we settled our bill, and when I went out to look for a taxi, my friend said, "We can't go yet." I asked why, and he said, because we needed to wait for the girl. She would, she would be going back to Bangkok with us. I thought it was weird, but okay, no big deal. He's probably going to continue to smash it for a while before sending her back. Well, that is a big deal. It's a big deal. You know, I just don't get it. I don't get the... Let me just, you know... She's the star of the ping pong show, and you want to bring her back to Bangkok and, like, take her to meet all your friends because you think she's such a wonderful woman. Maybe she's got a good heart. Yeah, she's different. We get to my Bangkok condo and start to drink. Boom. Stop right there. All the drinking. Ever notice when you drink way too much, you either can't make a decision, you either end up in a pool of vomit, or you make extremely stupid decisions. That's what happens. That's why you don't drink too much. Unless maybe you're at home. And then you might end up in a pool of vomit. You might, you know, you might just fall asleep on the sofa, and that's the end of that. I mean, I do have a bottle of tequila over there. Haven't touched that in a long time. How long has it been since we drank tequila, Bo? A long time. Was it before the... Well, you drank it during the COVID, but I think we haven't drank together. Or I haven't drank since before the COVID.
I have every single day, and I just open it.
Yeah, she used to be drinking. She tapped into my what is this stuff? Let me see. My other bottles are upstairs. Juanitos Cristalino. Tequila Anejo. Boom. So, did you drink all this bottle or did I drink some of it? Look how much is left, Bo.
Moses hydrated.
Yeah, she drank most of this bottle. She would come home, and of course I egged her on for a little while. After a while I stopped, because I didn't want her to become an alcoholic. I took the ball away from her. Hey, thanks, Joe. Thank you very much. Anyway, so she would come home and what did you mix it with? She would get these little jelly things and put them in a drink with, like, what was it, that green shit? Like a Fanta or something?
Yeah.
She'd mix it with, like, Fanta, and I don't know what the fuck she was thinking.
It's good.
There's only one way to drink it. You know what? Why don't you give me a shot glass? Could you do that for me? There's a shot glass to the left. Do you want one?
No.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe tomorrow. That's it.
Maybe tomorrow.
Mhm.
Well, I think, you know what? Just because I started talking about it, I'll have one. Fuck it. Choke D to all you guys, Joe and Michael and Johnny and everybody else. Choke D. Here we go. Fuck it. It's been a long time since I rocked and rolled. This is how you drink tequila. You don't mix it with foo-foo shit. Whoever made a tequila sunrise ought to be shot. Smooth. That's good stuff. That is the first alcohol I've drank in, I don't know, you know. And yeah, this is the thing, you know. There used to be this thing, and I had this poster that I got in at Senor Frogs in, what is that, in Mazatlan or Cabo San Lucas? In Mexico. This is actually really smooth, Johnny. It doesn't burn. It doesn't burn at all. I can have another one and I'll be good to go. I got this poster and it said, lick it, suck it, slam it. So you would put the salt on, lick it, you'd suck the lime, and then you'd slam it, right? Lick it, suck it, slam it. But then I learned after doing some research, actually, good tequila is, and this is pretty good tequila here. I mean, really, I mean, it's not a bad tequila. It's like a mid range tequila. Good tequila, really good tequila is drank in a tumbler, like cognac. And I think the best stuff that I've ever had, I don't remember the name of it, and I know I should, and I know I can probably remember. Maybe it was Casa Nobles. And this shit was so good. It was so smooth. It didn't even taste like tequila, but it was tequila. And it was so good. So, when it comes to to tequila, you want to buy the Sierra or Pepe Lopez or any of that cheap shit. Yeah, it's gonna burn. It's not gonna be. You might have a bad hangover. This kind of stuff, you have a couple of shots and you feel good. That's it. You don't, it's smooth. It doesn't give you this nasty taste where you're throwing up tequila all night long. So, anyway, let me continue here. I'll have another one in a little bit. Let's see here. Like a couple of seconds. I don't know why. Because it's a Saturday night. Why not? All right, so let's see here. Should we go in the back? We get to the back and we start to drink. Then, much to my surprise, he tells me the girl is going to live with him in Hua Hin. So, of course, I interject. This guy is a chowderhead, absolutely no brains. That's good, I guess, but don't you think that's a little too fast? The friend asks. Now, and I'm interjecting again, this is what I wrote. If he were my friend, I probably would have gotten his face and asked him what the he was doing. At the very least, I would have called him an idiot and tried to shake him out of his mental fog. This guy doesn't need a bar girl, he needs a psychiatrist. So the guy goes on, he writes on here. Anyway, I don't say anything else about it. The next day, he and the bar girl start arguing. He is upset because she no longer wants to move to Hua Hin with him. In the course of their argument, I find out this is because he doesn't have enough money to send her family every month. She tells him she needs a minimum of 50,000 baht a month, and if he can't send this much, she can't be his girlfriend. All right, that's a dead giveaway. I mean, come on, that's like fucking A, man. It's like $1,460 or something. Who has Listen, I tell you what. The next time one of you dumbasses, the next time one of you knuckleheads decides you want to drop 50,000 baht to a chick, I tell you what, I got a better idea. Send me the 50,000 baht, and that's it. It's a one-time payment. You won't have to pay every single month because I will put you in your fucking place and set you straight. Because you're pissing that money away. You'll never win. You will never win. You will be a loser all your fucking life. Now, if you pay me, then you're a winner because you're going to take some advice from somebody, and even if you don't pay me, but you don't pay the girl, you're still winning. Because what the fuck is this guy thinking? I told him it's not going to work. He should just enjoy his time with her and let her go when she wants to leave. He keeps pushing the issue until he upsets her and she leaves. At this point, it dawns on me the reason for her coming and going is because we went to Pattaya on a Buddhist holiday and there was no work for her. She came with us to see what she could gain, and now she's off to work again. The next day, my girlfriend returns from visiting her family, and she tells him that we met. My girlfriend returns from visiting her family, and she tells him, that we met on the dating app Scout. She recommends he try Scout. I recommend you learn how to fucking interact with one face-to-face, in person, at like a 7-Eleven, a fucking grocery store, a mall, a prison, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's the best way. Don't go on some fucking app when you can't even control yourself in real life. More educated Thai women are on there. Scout is definitely not what he needs. This is me saying this. And I question the friend and his friend's girlfriend's judgment. Seriously, with his track record, why put a decent woman through the anguish? He seems to have a bad habit of sinking his fangs into any girl who gives him the opportunity. Now, that's another thing. If you're fucked up, if you're a fucked up dude, like you're really fucked up and you know it, like you got issues. You know you're a fucking mean drunk. You know that you're hitting a crack pipe once too often, whatever it might be, whatever your problem is. Good morning, good evening. If you're good morning, good evening, good evening, Robert Mac Media. If you know that you're the kind of guy that, I don't want to say you're a loser. You're the kind of guy that, like, you ain't a good catch. And I don't mean, oh, I don't have a great job, I don't have much money, I don't have this, I mean, you are a detriment to the point where, it's like, oh, I don't have any money for my crack, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I got to go rob a fucking grocery store. Why would you want to put a girl through that? And, I'll never forget, there was a guy that I met through a friend many years ago. His name was Russell. I don't know what happened to him. He was old when I met him. Old, I mean, he's probably about 50 when I met him. That was 25, 30 years ago. So he's, he might not be around anymore. I don't know. Anyway, I met him through a friend. And we're just having a conversation. We had gotten to know each other a little bit. And I said to him, yeah, so what's your story, man? Like, where do you live? And, oh, do you live with someone? Do you live alone? What's the deal? You got yourself a girlfriend? Oh, I don't have a girlfriend. Why not? You don't want one? No, I don't. I don't want one. I said, why not? He goes, because every fucking girl I meet that's a good girl, I just think to myself, do I want to ruin this chick? And that's how some dudes are. They fucking meet up, and they, it's not that they're a heartbreaker. Or, what is it? Heartbreaker, dream maker. The girl might think that they're living the dream, but then, fucking a week later, they're like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck was I thinking when I met this guy? Star of the ping. Yeah, she's a star of the ping pong show. Let me go home and bring her to my family and show her around. I'm sure she's going to do quite good. I already told you guys about the time that I was up in Udon Thani. I met some broad and, fucking, next thing I know, the girl's sister's like telling me she'd give me a fucking BJ for 1,000 baht. I'm like, what the fuck kind of family is this? This ain't my kind of family. I'm not saying that a BJ is a bad thing, but I'm just saying, when it's like you're with one chick and then she goes, oh, my older sister wants to talk to you, and it's like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, well, this is the thing. But the idea is that you minimize your mistakes. All right, I paid a little too much at this place. I overpaid. I gave too many tips to the taxi driver. Whatever. That's small shit. But, the whole, oh my God, I fell in love with the girl who was shooting darts out of her snatch. I thought she was going to be the one. I thought that triangle was all powerful. Oh, God. I thought she was my girl. Next thing you know, the guy who puts the darts in her, he's been giving her his dart, the love dart, for years. They got some kind of little thing going on, I don't know. Anyway, let me have this shot. I could probably use it. Damn. It's been a long time, and that is so smooth. It's so good. I think it was 2Q Asia that gave me this. I used to get a lot of bottles of tequila, and they're all about half full. I got like 10 bottles of tequila upstairs. Maybe now it's like 6. I don't know. I can't keep track because I'm not drinking. I haven't been drinking. But this is a clear alcohol. So for me, if I have 2 or 3 shots, I can handle it. And tomorrow I shouldn't be hungover, which is good because I have to go to the gym. I'll be there at 10 o'clock. And actually tomorrow is a big UFC fight for you guys. And I gotta say that I've kind of got addicted to going back to the gym. And if I go to a boxing gym, that's it. It's over for me. Because I'm already spending like 4 hours a day at the gym. And recuperating and everything else. It's an addictive thing. It could be worse. I could be addicted to the alcohol. I could be addicted to something else. But it feels good. The last time I drank tequila, I woke up in bed naked between 2 girls, never remembered anything. Well, I'll tell you a quick story. It was on my birthday. It was on my birthday, many, many moons ago. And I went out, and I thought, I'm not going to get drunk. This is when I was teaching English. And I said, I'm not going to get drunk tonight because I have to teach tomorrow morning. And one of the things that got me hired was I said, I'll do the best I can, I'll come in on time, and I won't come in drunk. Because I knew that a lot of people did that. Well, guess what? A couple months after I'd been there, not more than 2-3 months. Now they liked me, I liked them, it was a good thing and everything. I did what I said. Went out one night, was sitting in some booth, and the next thing I know, there were a couple of people, you know, a couple of triangles, a couple of slits. I don't know why, but I kept getting these. Full to the brim. And the next thing I know, I'm asleep. I'm shit-faced. You know, 2-3 o'clock in the morning, I gotta be dragged home. And I wake up at like noon. My class was at like 10. I'm like, son of a bitch. And I called up and I said, I'm so very sorry that I didn't come in, but I'm just wondering, was I supposed to come in today? Which was complete bullshit because I knew I had to come in. They said, yeah, you did. You were supposed to come in. Oh my God. I thought it was tomorrow. All right. We covered, don't worry about it. I said, okay, thank you. And then, you know, I came in the next time, everything was all right, but it did happen. Can't you do a tequila review with 5 different tequilas in one of your upcoming shows? How about I do that tomorrow night? I don't want to do it tonight. I'll go upstairs tomorrow and I go check out all the tequilas that I have and I'll line them up and I'll do 4 or 5 of them. And I'll do a little review. In addition to whatever it is what I was going to stream about, which was home isn't always home when you're living in Thailand. Yeah, so yeah, I can. 2 shots down. Okay. The next day, he gets a cell phone, installs the Scout app, and starts chatting. The following day, he finds out he caught gonorrhea from the bar girl he brought from Pattaya. I flip out because when he was in America, I asked him to bring me condoms because Thai size is too small, of course. And he brings condoms for me, but not himself. Instead, he got a vasectomy. This guy sounds like a fucking moron. I mean, really, this guy's an idiot. Oh, well, I'll just get a vasectomy and everything will be all right. No, it won't be. You dipshit. Chowderhead. This is why he was in the book. Anyway, we go to the pharmacy to get meds, and he says he's learned his lessons. And he believes this why. I wouldn't believe anything this guy says. That's me talking. The following day, he says he made a date with a girl from Scout. Following day, well, he still has the freaking clap. He goes out and then this becomes the remainder of his stay. He wakes up, eats, and says, "Hey, dude, I have a date. I'm out." My girlfriend is upset because he's turned our condo into a hotel. Some nights he will come home alone, and other nights he will bring home a girl. Well, that's what guys do. What do you expect? That's what single guys do, at least if they're getting any action. I tell my girlfriend that he just got out of a nasty divorce and to cut him some slack, but then at 3 a.m. one morning he brought home a Nigerian hooker, and I had to tell him to chill out. When you start bringing home the Nigerians and the Russians, the fat Russian chicks and the Chinese, you might want to think again. The following night, he gets a message from a Thai girl at 2 a.m. and she asks him to come over. So he asks if I can wake up my girlfriend to help him get a taxi to go to her apartment. I tell him no, instead taking him to the main road where I flagged one down for him. I told him to be careful and sent him on his way. At 6 a.m. he comes home and has brought this girl with him. Who is this, I ask. She's going to live with me in Hua Hin, he said. I was mortified. For me, that was the last straw. I told my girlfriend to pack some clothes for me because we would be taking him to Hua Hin. When we were ready to leave, my friend asked me to take him to the exchange. We went to Sukhum because this was the only place that would take dirty dollar bills. The money exchanges. All right, let's hope this holds up. I don't know why, but we're having technical difficulties. Let's hope it holds up. Anyway, so now I chime in. Anytime the drama starts ramping up as it did with this bonehead, it is time to reevaluate the relationship. It's actually time to reevaluate the relationship between these guys. Why do you want to surround yourself with some freaking guy like this? All right, fool me once, okay, I understand. But continually screwing up like this, it's time to say, this guy's just a dumbass and he's going to bring me down. You don't want to surround yourself with people like this. Seriously, you really don't. You don't want to surround yourself with chowderheads because eventually people start thinking you're just like him. You are a chowderhead. And maybe you are because you're hanging out with him. I understand you want to be friends, blah, blah, blah. We've been in the service, yada, yada, yada. But like after a while you go, hey, dude, you clean it up or we just can't be friends because you're a freaking dumbass and I don't want to be around you because I know you're going to get me in trouble. We drop him at the apartment to get settled in, and then the next day we take him out for seafood in Chatham. When we arrive at Chatham, he asks me if I have a Thai bank account. I ask him why does he need a Thai bank account, and he tells me that he and the girl have been messaging on the phone, and he needs to send her 5,000 baht so she can take the bus to Hua Hin. 5,000 baht? Get the fuck out of here. I tell him the bus from Bangkok to Hua Hin costs 180 baht to send her only 1,000, but he insists, and we finally settle on 3,000. He gives me the money. Put it in my account, and when I am in the process of sending it, my girlfriend notices that the receiver is a Thai man. Fuck me. My friend says he doesn't care and sends it anyway. Of course he doesn't care, because he's a dumb fuck. He pisses me off because when we stayed at my condo in Bangkok, he only paid for lunch and dinner once. When a booty call asks for money to travel, he doesn't think twice about sending 5,000. After receiving the money, the girl says that she can't come today, but she would come the next day. My girlfriend and I go back to Bangkok because she has to work, but we return on Friday. When we arrive in Bangkok, we go to our favorite Thai restaurant and see my friend drunk, screaming because this chick hasn't shown up yet, and she is suddenly not answering his phone calls. Yeah, it is painful. So here I write, drama after drama, stupidity after stupidity. Neither of these guys, nor the girlfriend, are very intelligent. I mean, the guy's an idiot for keeping him around. I'm not saying you don't be a loyal friend, because, I mean, listen, I got friends that I've had for 40 years. 30, 40 years. Seriously. I tend to keep my friends. So there is something to be said for if a guy is, I'll tell you, I'll give you a story. I'll give you a little story, a little sub story. I knew a guy many years ago when I was, out partying and running around, and I was in my early 20s. And he was a friend of a friend. Now, this guy was a machinist. He had a great job. He was like, he just started out. He's making like $20 an hour. This was back, 40 years ago, 35 years ago. He's making like $20 an hour. We were like, oh my God, you're making great money. Wow, this is so fantastic. He had a nice apartment. He had a nice furniture. Everything he had was nice because he had money. He always had money. So he got some chick, Pam. His name was Jeff. She was Pam. He hooks up with her. She was a looker. And he says to me, and she doesn't lose a drop. And I went, oh, okay. I guess she's a keeper. Yep, she's a keeper. I said, okay. Now, we used to dabble in a little this and that. And, there was a little snow floating around back then. We had some friends. We had some connections. And so he ended up getting into it a little more than we did. And I'm talking about me and one of my buddies. We used to toot a little once in a while. This is a long time ago. I wouldn't touch that shit now. But we used to. And, it was okay back then. But we were young and stupid. I wish I never did because I pissed away a bunch of money. But anyway, he gets into it, seriously into it. Come to find out, dude's shooting up. Now, we used to hang out all the time. This dude's shooting up. I tell my buddy, dude, I can't be hanging out with this fucking guy. I'm not gonna be driving down the street and we get pulled over and this fucking guy's carrying his gear with him. He's got a fucking needle and a bunch of drugs on him and shit. He gets into heroin. I hear this shit and I'm like, I start distancing myself. I'm like, I don't want to be around this fucking guy. It's one thing, you want to do a couple lines now and then. It's another if fucking shooting that up and shooting smack up. And I was like, man, I got to distance. But long story short, me and my buddy kind of lose track of him. I end up leaving. Then I end up moving to one place or another, and then I move over here. Move down to the beach, move to the desert, move back to the beach. Then I, end up moving here. My buddy ends up moving to Reno. So I asked him, hey, have you heard from him? Yeah, he's working odd jobs. I said, okay, whatever. He's all right? Yeah, he's okay, but he's still using. Now, he couldn't afford the smack. He couldn't afford the coke. And he wasn't doing the smack. He was on the speed now because that's the thing. It was cheap, I guess. And I don't know, a couple of months ago, I got a message from my buddy. He passed away. So the thing is my buddy and I we were going to. I actually said to my buddy, I said, should we maybe restrain him or should I knock him out and then we bring him into a facility and get him help? And my buddy's like, dude, we can't help him if he doesn't want to help himself. And that's the same thing with this story. You got this guy here, he's a fucking moron. His buddy ain't much, his buddy's an enabler. His buddy should just cut ties. Hey, pal, you ain't listening. You ain't hearing me. And that's the thing. It's just like Chowderhead videos. I could tell you all these stories, but if you met this hot-looking chick with her nipples pointing to the sky, vagina so tight you can't even get your little pinky in her, you guys would be fucking dying. Oh, she's the one. She's different. She might have had a million dicks in her. You don't know. But that vajayjay is so tight, you're like, oh my God. What a triangle she has. And that's what I mean. You know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And you can work with a chowderhead, you can be his friend, you can tell him, what are you doing? You can get in his face, you can do all kinds. But if he doesn't want to help himself, if he doesn't want to listen, if he's so gone that he can't think straight, then you have no hope. So you might as well distance yourself and go, dude, you're on your own. It's, like tough love. And that's what you got to do. And that's the thing. Is like, I can tell everybody till I'm red in the face. Dude, you're a freaking chowderhead. Dude, you're a moron. Dude, you're an idiot. What are you thinking? Yeah. Life is too goddamn short. And I thought to myself the other day, and I heard something that someone said. I'm not going to name his name, just I don't feel the need to do it. But he said, I got all these chicks running around. He's like, I got plenty of chicks. I got plenty of money. But I often wonder how much more successful I would be if I only had one chick. I stuck with one girl. For me, when I was young, I was running around doing things. I didn't give a shit. So your focus is what's really important. Your focus on what is most important. And it's taken me 55, 60 years to realize what's important is not what, most of the time, people were going to form their opinion of you. I don't give a shit. We already know some of the people. And they're a bunch of fucking pussies. That's my opinion. I just thought of something yesterday. Get into the ring. You want to see how good you are? Get into the ring with a UFC fighter. You want to lie to yourself and tell you how good you are and what a great, strong guy you are? Get into the ring with some guy. He'll make mincemeat out of you. Get into the ring with some guy who knows he's like a high-level jiu-jitsu guy. He'll make mincemeat out of you. He'll make mincemeat out of me. You see, I already know this. I've already come to that reality that, you will never be able to compete against other people at a world-class level. Most people will never be able to be the best at anything. And that's the truth. But you might be the best that you can be. And I think that's what's so important. And one thing that, if you're a true idiot, you're going to go into a bar and think that this chick is madly in love with you. Because 99.9% of the time, she ain't in love with you. She's in love with the idea that she's going to get ahead. Oh, yeah, but I know better. No, you don't. You don't know shit. Because you're a fucking newbie. You're a guy who's been here for a year. You've come here 3 times. You think you know everything about the place. You don't know shit. I barely know anything. After 30 fucking years. You think you know something. You don't know shit. Most of these guys don't know jack shit. And, it's so funny because I remember the Seinfeld episode where, we got some problems here, but hopefully it's not too long. And it will stick. Yeah, hopefully the video will continue. But, yeah, I don't know what the hell I was saying. I think I need another shot. There you go. Where was I? He tells me that she would go to the bar to drink with her friends and family and now is not answering. He called her so many times, it killed the battery on his phone. My girlfriend and everyone at the restaurant, no exaggeration, persuading him to forget about her. There are many other women in Hua Hin. He is drunk. There you go. Factor in the alcohol, tequila, whatever it is. But he decides to hop on a motorbike, yeah, he's real bright, to go home to charge his phone so he can continue to call her. At this point, I am embarrassed. This is my friend, and I introduce him to everyone, and now he is behaving like this. And I write, as well, he should be embarrassed. So this guy goes on to say, the next morning the girl shows up, and I try getting him to let her go, but he tells me he will have fun with her and then let her go. Following weekend, I come to Hua Hin, not to hang out with him, but to go to the beach and relax with my girlfriend. One of my Thai friends, who is helping my friend out because of his new guy status, newbie, pulls me to the side and tells me the girl is not a good girl. My friend and girl are both from Isan and they have talked at length. She told him that she has a kid. She used to be a prostitute in Phuket. On many occasions, he referred to my friend as she referred to my friend as a retard because he is deaf in one ear. It's kind of not nice. That tells you something about her. My Thai friend, really, that tells you something about her. Listen, if you meet a girl and she says to you, you know, oh, kontan chat, which is foreigner, she's probably a halfway decent chick. At least she has some manners. If she's all farang this, farang that, stupid farang that, brush her aside. She ain't a keeper. Guarantee you. Too much ego. Anyway, let me see here. My Thai friend wanted okay, he's definitely one. My Thai friend wanted me to talk to my friend for him about this because his English skills weren't good enough to articulate it. Later on that day, when I'm alone with my friend, I talked to him about what was said. That's not what she told me, he said. I told him about her calling him a retard and he would not accept what I was saying. Some people just won't, it just won't sink in because they just refuse to believe that, you know, the girl's been saying, oh, you're so handsome. It's all empty words, hot air. He goes back to the routine of meeting girls on scouts. Oh yeah. Eventually he and the girl get into an argument and she leaves. He goes back to the routine of meeting girls on scout and in the bars. The following weekend I meet my Thai friend who proceeds to tell me that he has invited my friend to dinner several times and each time my Navy buddy brought a bar girl. And this is surprising. Why? My Thai friend feels uncomfortable with a prostitute being around his wife and son, as would I. I tell my Thai friend that I have no control over what he does, but I will talk to him. I also told him that maybe it's not best to hang out with him. Again, I talk to my buddy, not about what I was told, but I tell him not to alienate himself from people. I also try to tell him about how many guys come here and get so caught up in pussy and drinking they tend to push the good people away. He fails to see how his actions could push people away. Around this time, I start a new job and stop going to who and him as often. Probably a good thing. He and I talk on the phone, and when we talk, it's always about a girl that he met. Living for the triangle. Live for yourself, live for the money. Make yourself important. Make the money important. Don't make the triangle so important. You know, I mean, how long do you think it's going to take before you get a little bit like, all right, I've been there, done that. I'm, 100 times over. How long do you think it really takes? It doesn't take 100 times. After a while, you're like, all right, been there, done that. I can do it whenever I want. What's the big deal? No big deal. And around this time, I started a new job and stopped going. He and I talk on the phone, blah, blah, blah. It was always about a girl he met. Everything that he said he wouldn't do when he got there, he is doing. My girlfriend decides that she will go home to visit her sick grandmother, leaving me with a free weekend. I call my friend on Monday to let him know that I'm free and we can hang out. I suggest we go to Pattaya, to the countryside, anywhere. Man, I have a girl here, he said. That's why I'm letting you know in advance, I said, irritated. I really like her, though, and want to make it work. Yeah, of course. Why is it that they always like him so much? You know why? Because of that little snapper. That's the almighty, it's almost a religious experience for some people, for some guys. Don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't love it. Of course I do. But there are other things, like tequila, that are pretty good too. Bon appetit. Cheers. Brosh. Das Vidania. Chon Gale. All right, that was a little harder. It was a little harsher. Oh yeah. There you go. All right, let me get this finished up here. I'm starting to feel the effects. I just really like her and want to make it work. I just lost it because the day before yesterday he was talking the same way about a different girl. 2 days later he has a girl that he wants to make it work with. What the fuck? I don't want to go to Patia because no girl is that stupid. She'll know why I'm going there. Dude, why does everything have to be about whores and sex? Why don't we just hang out? Why don't you just hang out with me? We haven't seen each other for 7 years? Holy shit, they didn't see each other for 7 years. He then says, if it were me and my girlfriend, he would give us a space to fix our relationship. So then I write, this is too much for me to handle. One idiot thinks he's in love with every woman stupid enough to be with him, and the other moron leads him straight into battle. The guy doesn't need to go to Patia, he needs a therapist, seriously. So then this guy writes again, the one thing I hate about foreigners in Thailand is when they date a whore and try to compare their abnormal relationship to a normal relationship. Here I interject again. Honestly, I'm not sure this guy's relationship with his own girlfriend is all that normal. I tell him that the beginning of the relationship was not based on having sex and my girlfriend wasn't causing me or the people around me any grief. And I said it the other day. And I've said it a million frickin' times. You wonder why I get sick of this shit. Why I get sick of all these stories and all this bullshit. Because no one fucking listens. They don't care. If there's drama, run. If, in a couple of days,
Oh, you must take care of me. Papa, he have big problem. Buffalo die. He have heart attack.
yeah, that sucks, honey. I gotta go. Sorry, bye. I'm gonna miss my bus. He then took his cheap shot at me. You are a divorcee. How can you give advice? I got divorced, but I learned from my mistakes. You're repeating a pattern. I told him that I got tired of feeling like a veteran foreigner that needs to show the new foreigner the ropes. It seems like people want to be around me because I know a lot about Thailand, but once they get what they need, they stop wanting to hang around. He said that if I felt like that, then nothing is wrong with the other people, something is wrong with me. Stupid and stupider. He then admitted that the girl he was with was the same girl that had been calling him a retard. If a chick ever calls you a retard, it's either time to really take a close look at yourself, or it's time to kick her into the stratosphere. At that point, I asked why he was so desperate and why was he trying to be with women who did not reciprocate his feelings. There were plenty of girls he dated that seemed a lot more suitable. He dated many women that were more attractive, held good jobs, and were independent, but he always chose to be with the younger prostitutes. I don't know, don't look at me. What the fuck do I know? After this conversation, I never got trapped like this. I never got into shit like this, man. Never. After this conversation, he and I stopped talking. A week later, I got a call from my security at my Hua Hin apartment. They told me the police had been called to my apartment. I had my girlfriend call my Thai friend, who quickly found out my Navy buddy and his girl were fighting over talking to another man on her cell phone. The girl asked security to call the police. I sent him a message and got no response. 5 minutes later, I see that my line message was read, but there was no answer. I told my friend that I needed to talk in order to make sure that everything was okay. After all, it was my apartment and I am responsible. He did not answer. When my girlfriend, got home from work, she told me that my friend had called my Thai friend, yelled at him, and then called her and yelled at her. The guy told my girlfriend I was angry because he wouldn't go to Pattaya with me, and that if she believes I only go to Pattaya to drink and party, she's stupid. And that's not cool. He also tells her that he will be moving out of my apartment on the 1st. I told him we don't need to talk, but that I will come to Hua Hin on the 1st to get the apartment and car keys. I just wanted to make sure that there were no misunderstandings because it's a long drive. Okay, just make sure you have a refund for the advance rent that I paid you. I tried to call him to talk to him about it, letting him know that I am not kicking him out and that he is the one who said he was leaving, but he ignores my calls and messages. So I write, all of this trauma is just painful. This shit is just, I mean, can you imagine going through all this bullshit? I can't. And, I had friends that didn't listen to me. The most famous was the guy who blew 100 G's, or almost 100 G's, 90 G's, on some fucking pat-the-ass skank. I mean, if you think about it that way, don't be shy. You're allowed to say these things. I don't give a shit what era we're in. If we're in a woke era, we're in a PC culture kind of bullshit. If she's a skank, she's a skank. Just like I keep saying. Can't put lipstick on a pig and make that fucking pig look like a beauty queen. Fucking A. All of his drama is just painful. The next morning I drive to Hua Hin from Bangkok to confront him. When I get there, he opens the door and greets me. What do you want? He said. Imagine somebody comes to your house and that he's renting from you for really a fucking song and a dance. And he has the audacity to address you like, hey, what do you want, man? Dude, what the fuck is your problem? I said. All this drama over a bitch. Yeah, Pierre. I mean, isn't that what it's all about? You don't want this bullshit. And even if you were in the States and this shit was happening, why? What's the point? Isn't life hard enough? I mean, really. I don't know about you guys, but life is fucking hard enough. Just dealing with your own shit is hard enough. Much less fucking some other fucking monkey who doesn't seem to know what the fuck's up and down. Yelling at people over a bitch? Are you fucking serious? I told him the girl can't stay because of all the issues she is causing. I opened the door to tell her to pack her things and go. And he grabs me. I start punching and kicking him, and then I try to choke him out. Oh, God. During all the commotion, I noticed that he's playing on her phone while I'm stomping him out. He yells, baby, call the police. She ignores him. He then says, baby, go next door, go to the neighbor's apartment. She casually gets dressed, walks out, and goes down the hall. When I let him up, he goes chasing after her. Baby, where are you going? It was pathetic to watch. This chick clearly cared nothing for him, but he's chasing after her. I calmed down, talked to him, and told him it's better he goes his way and I go mine. Next day, he confirms he is moving out, and that's it. When he came to Thailand, I thought I was getting a long-lost friend back. There were so many things that we were supposed to do when he got here. But he got obsessed with pussy to the degree that a drug addict gets addicted to heroin. My going into the bedroom to ask the girl to leave was the equivalent of taking a needle from the junkie. I am writing you because I listened to a lot of letters that you read, Scott, and they are always from the viewpoint of the person with the addiction who needs to be loved. These people don't realize that in their desperate pursuit of love, they lose the people that really do love and care for them. This month, my friend lost a friend of 11 years, me, for a girl he has seen about 12 times. Eventually, she'll go her own way, and he'll be left trying to fill an empty space with meaningless relationship after meaningless relationship, trying to force puzzle pieces to fit where they don't. P.S. Thanks. If you took the chance to read this, it means a lot. Tony. So then I write. I think I could have one more. The writing was on the wall when he hooked up with the Filipino whore. It sucked. He caused problems for you at your place. This is uncalled for, and a friend or not, it was definitely grounds for booting him. That said, had you not let him live there, you could have just told him you're his buddy and you care for him and think he's screwing up, but he's going to do what he's going to do. We can be friends, and I will be there for you, but I don't want anything to do with your relationship. Listen, when it comes to relationships, I have something, and I learned this really from, I'll be honest, I learned it from The Sopranos. I learned this phrase, as I learned many phrases from that show that were great. It is what it is. What are you going to do? Those are all from The Sopranos. Uh, you know, and then, of course, Tony Soprano, the one time when he was told that, if you've ever watched the show, he was told that Christopher's uh, girlfriend had ratted him out to the FBI. What did he say? She's a cunt. I mean, we're not. Sometimes honesty is the best policy. And here it is right here. I don't get involved in matters of the heart, affairs of the heart. Why the fuck would I want to ever get involved in some shit like this? There was the guy, remember? He saw the girl who was the pork stall girl. Fucking, some fucking chick. No big deal. Not a big deal. And the guy's fucking begging me to go get her phone number. He's like, if you get her phone number and give her my phone number and email address and vet her for me. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? What am I? What are you, fucking stupid? Do it for yourself if you want to do it. I don't get involved in that shit. And there's a reason why. Listen, say what you will. I've been married for fucking 23 years. That's what I want. I don't want to fucking run around. I already did my running around. And you know what? I prefer being married, honestly. Not to say it's all fucking sunshine and roses and lollipops and shit. But, and any married guy knows that. But why in the fuck would this guy go through this garbage? So he writes me back. Thanks for the reply. It's sad. I've talked to people who found themselves in similar situations, and sadly it takes something drastic to wake them up. HIV, angry Thai boyfriends, or depression, to name a few things. It seems life punching him in the face will be the only thing he responds to, and by then it will be too late. 3 days ago, he phoned me and told me that this chick started acting crazy, and when he tried to boot her, she informed him that she is not 18 years old, but actually 16. If he breaks up with her, she will cry rape. He wanted my advice on how to handle the situation, and I told him that he made his bed and he had to lie in it. I also told him to please stop bothering me and my Thai friends with his dysfunctional relationships. I hate that I had to do this, but only contacting me when he has relationship issues is bullshit. All right, wait a minute. We got something else here. My final thoughts and then an update. Dating and relationships should be fun, but for some, like Thai working girls, trying to make a buck, getting involved with a man is serious business. And you shouldn't fucking take that lightly. It is serious business. To the point where some of them will fucking flat out stab your ass because you say, I don't want to be with you anymore. So you better be damn careful. You're letting him in your life. You know how many people I let in my life now? Fucking damn near no one. And those that I do let in, they get a little glimpse sometimes. And, some get more than others. But I don't let them in all the way. I don't let a fucking, 100 people, oh yeah, you can get it. And, I do it online, but believe me, you don't know shit. You might think you do, but you don't know jack shit. You don't know me, son. That's David Goggins. You know who he is? David Goggins. That's David Goggins. I like that he says that. I think that's pretty telling. Anyway, dating and relationships should be fun, but for some, like Thai working girls trying to make a buck, getting involved in a man is serious business. Men fail to understand the seriousness of their interactions with women who are hell-bent on making a better life for themselves with their money. A relationship with a Thai prostitute can quickly destroy love, marriage, and a family, and as demonstrated in the above case, a friendship. In some cases, it can even cost a man his life. How many times have you read in the paper about some dude who fucking jumped, or some dude who fucking got killed by his chick, or, then there's the phrase, hai pet kin, which is give it to the duck to eat. Give it to the duck. Give the dick to the duck. You know, you want to get involved in these kind of situations, you better know what the fuck you're doing. That's why I always go, don't get involved in any kind of serious relationship for at least a year and learn some fucking Thai. Don't believe me? Okay, makes no difference to me. I'm set. It's just like my father said to me, hey, I'm set. I did my schooling. I'm good to go. You want to fuck up? It's on you. They get your shit together. Well, the same thing goes with women. You know. All right. These two guys are clearly knuckleheads or chowderheads. Friends stand by their friends, but friends do not unnecessarily and foolishly burden their friends with nonsense. You know, a guy calls you up and he's got a problem with his girl. He calls you up once or twice. You're like, yeah, okay, oh, buddy, don't worry about it. I'm sure it'll work out. Hey, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that. But then the guy calls you every fucking day for a year. And you're like, what the fuck, man? Life is too short. Better to have one or two quality friends than 10 friends who are a huge pain in the ass. There you go. Mr. Navy guy isn't a friend. He's a festering boil on his buddy's ass. Fortunately, his boil has now been excised. I don't know why I wrote that, but I did. And this is the thing, you know, you hear the phrase or the statement that you are the sum of the 5 people that you hang around with most, and I think that's true. All right, so he gave me an update, which is, interesting. I sent an email to you in August about a Navy buddy of mine that I convinced to move to Thailand. I just wanted to give an update. I spoke to a mutual friend today in passing and found out that he has gonorrhea that was not treated and has gotten worse in the past few months. It got to the point where he had to stay in the hospital for a couple of days. The doctor told me that if he doesn't improve, they're going to have to amputate his penis. I never heard about that. I don't know if that's really true or not, but Jesus, that's sad. This leaves me feeling bad because in the back of my mind, I kept saying to myself that if he continues on the same course, he's going to end up catching something that he can't get rid of or end up getting himself killed. And that's the thing. All you guys think this is a big fucking game, and oh, it's no problem. I know what I'm doing. I'm Mr. Cool. I can fucking handle myself. But what you don't know is this is their country. They know the rules. They know the way to get at you. If a chick is hell-bent on getting you for whatever reason, and they can be quite vindictive. You're a dead motherfucker now. That's how it works. Let's see here. I feel like I watched him get on a plane that I knew was going to crash. So he's left by himself while the chick has moved on. She went back to working in the bar what else can they do? Once they do that, it's over. They got nothing else to do except go back home. You know, work on a fucking farm doing something. So he's left by himself and the chick has moved on. She went back to working in the bar and now he's showing up into the bar where she works, telling her that he wants to be reimbursed for everything he has done for her. Come on. I see many friendships here end like mine. Over pussy. Over the triangle. My friend is now left with an STD, no friend, and no girlfriend. Then I write one last short paragraph. Your friend is an idiot. It's sad, but this sort of thing happens. If losing his pecker doesn't jar him into reality, nothing will. There you go. Do I hear one more? Tony also choked Christopher to death because he was a junkie and who was unable to get sober. That's true. He killed Tony Blundetto. He killed Christopher. Tony was, he was a likable lug, but he was also a deadly motherfucker. And he had his rules, boundaries, and limitations. That's what it all comes down to. Rules, boundaries, and limitations, and tequila. More tequila. How many is this? 4 or 5? I don't know. When I start forgetting, I know it's been too many. So this is the last one. I think it's 4. My wife's gonna be happy because she knows I'll fall asleep and I won't fuck with her. I won't give her a hard time. I won't bug her. Just be like, I'm going to bed. Good night. Anybody? Got 29 people, 22 thumbs up. Continue to leave the thumbs up, please. I enjoy doing these. You know what? Now that I kind of miss them, to be honest. If you have your story, don't be shy. Tell me. You can change the names, whatever it is. However you want to do it. Just email me. Go to my website, americaninbangkok.com. AmericanInBangkok@gmail.com, or you can go to AmericanInBangkok.com. Get yourself a. I was gonna wear my shirt tonight, but I just got back from working out. I didn't have time to put it on, and I didn't really feel like sweating in it, as I already worked out in this. Did I do yoga this morning? No, I did the core exercise this morning, which is supposed to help me with the abs, and I am starting to have abs again. It's been years since I've had abs. I'm starting to have them again. I did the core exercise, which is nothing but working your core, your stomach, your freaking hip flexors, and then I went and did yoga tonight. I'm going to do yoga tomorrow, and I'm going to lift. There you go. One last one on the tube. I do like me some good tequila. And you know, when I go home, there's supposed to be a tequila bottle. I think it was called Baron Tequila. Is that what it is? Let me see. Now, by now, my parents might have thrown it out. I don't know. I just know they told me, we're not going to send it to you because it's going to cost us an arm and a leg. It's Baron Tequila. I don't know what kind they sent me. I have no idea. But if it's still there, I'm taking it home. It's a 74 rating, so it's decent. 95 points for it, so that's actually pretty good. Depends on which tequila it is. I like, Baron Extra Anejo Tequila. $149.99. That's not cheap. If you want to get the clear stuff, the Blanco, it's $34.99. So I'll give them a shout out. Baron Tequila. Baron. So there you go. 4 tequilas down. Is that 4? 4 tequilas down. And that'll probably be the last one there. Starting to get hammered. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. We'll have more of these Chowderhead stories. Tomorrow, like I said, we have Home is Home, but Thailand is not. Interesting. Let me see here. Living in Thailand doesn't always mean. I can't even remember this shit. Living in Thailand doesn't always make it your home. You know, I don't disagree with what this guy is writing about and how he writes it, because there is a lot of truth to what he says. However, I've been here for, honestly, if you've been here almost half your life, doesn't matter if it's Thailand or freaking, Sweden or Germany or Albania, Chile, Argentina. It doesn't matter where it is. If you've been there half your life, you freaking live there. And for me, I mean, there's a lot of things I don't like, but there's a hell of a lot that I do like. And my buddy sent me some photos yesterday, which I talked about in the stream, and they were beautiful. And my buddy is in Ecuador now. He's going to be there for the next month. He's waiting for us to come over. He's graciously granted us the rights to stay in his place. And I'm looking forward to it because not only does it have a swimming pool, but it's right on the beach. And he sent me pictures of the sun going down and him sitting there with a nice meal in front of him and a beer. I said, "Ah, you bastard. Looks so good." And of course, he reminded me, "You got this stuff right there where you are." And I'm like, "Yeah, we do." You just have to get out of Bangkok sometimes, and right now is not a good time to get out because, we'll be leaving in about 3 weeks to go on our month-long trip. It's almost a month. And so I don't really want to be spending money to go to the beach. But when I come back, that's a different story. When I come back, I've already said I want to find a place. And what I'll do is I'll look around, I'll find a couple places, then I'll have my wife look at them. And if she can get a place, 5,000 to 8,000 baht, something like that, little studio apartment, within walking distance from the beach, within a 5-minute moto ride from the beach, we're there, at least part-time. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see what happens with Ecuador and the whole journey, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing my folks. And, as you get older, those trips home, when you live abroad, those trips home become more and more important. And this one is extremely important to me. All joking aside, all this horse shit is not important. Unless you're in the middle of something like this dumbass in this particular stream. Then it's important because it can ruin your life. Or it can take your life. But this trip home is very important for me. It's important for my kids. It's important for my wife. She's one of the family, and my family loves her. And when she goes home with us, she'll be cooking Thai food. She'll be cooking Thai food for my buddy in Ecuador, and it'll be fun. And when Mr. 2Q Asia comes over again, I'm sure she'll be willing to cook him a good meal, and we'll watch a good fight. We always do. So, that kind of stuff's important. That's what's important. All this shit about some chick in a bar who all she wants to do is make some dough. She wants to make some dough. Okay, well, you pay her. It's just like, I got a t-shirt to sell you. You buy the t-shirt, you get the t-shirt. Okay, end of transaction. That's it. He's done. It's not, I don't expect you to buy 1,000,000 shirts from me. You honestly don't know, dude? Seriously? You don't know what a chowderhead is? Come on. What do you think it is? What's a bonehead? What's a knucklehead? What's a pinhead? If you know the answer to those, if you can define those, if you know what those mean, then you know what a chowderhead is. It's a foolish person. It's an extremely idiotic person. It's a moron. So there you go. Are you in Thailand, Be More Ron? I'm just wondering. You still here? Are you gone? Or are you back? I never know where everybody is. I know Pierre is in New York. I know Fire Dude is in Thailand. I used to remember where Chun Motorsport is, but he just started coming in. It ain't $1, but it's whatever you want to give. There you go. That's how it works. Shots start at $5. We'll put it that way. I'd do another shot for $5-10, yeah. I'm already, I'm feeling good. Feel good because I worked out a couple times today. It's amazing. And if you go on my Instagram, you'll see. And I'm going to put some more. It's a fake Be More Ron. I don't know. I got no idea, man. I don't give a shit. Really. It's funny that this is cake. Cake. I haven't talked to her in a long time. I don't know where she is. Have to send a message, find out where she's cooking. I can tell you right now. Let me see here. It's pretty funny. This is not a fake Be More Ron. This is the Be More Ron. The real Ron is in Saudi. Oh, I don't know. I can't tell you, man, and I don't really give a shit. Whatever. I'm working at EMS station in Brooklyn. Oh, okay. EMS station 40 in Sunset Park, Brooklyn right now. Well, dude, I appreciate what you're doing. I tell you what, and I'll tell you why. Because, you know, what's so funny is that cops get a bad rap. You know, EMS guys. I thought about becoming one a long time ago, actually. You know, or a paramedic. They get, you know, it's a somewhat thankless job, especially being a cop. But you know what? You never know just how important somebody is until you really need them. And I told that story where I was on the side of a frickin' mountain and I couldn't get down. I got stuck. I got poison ivy, and of course my girlfriend at the time was giving me all kinds of shit about it. What a dumbass I was, which pissed me off. That was the beginning of the end right there when she fucking gave me shit about that. I was like, I can't get past this. But they came and rescued me. And, you know, when you need to be rescued and you got somebody there that's willing to rescue you, you never think the same about that kind of stuff because you know just how valuable those people are. So, you know, there you go, Pierre. That's your shout out for the day. Anyway, where are we at here for time? 1:17. We got a couple minutes left. Real, not real. Listen, go to my Instagram. That doesn't cost you any money. Add me on your Instagram. Just look my name up. I'm on Instagram. See me. I haven't posted any photos lately in a long time, actually. But I post stories on there. And I'm starting to post stories on Facebook and all that other kind of stuff. Because, you know, I'm spending a lot of time exercising. Yes. Hey, jiu-jitsu guy in New York. What's happening? I'll tell you what, it's become an obsession again. And, you know, I wish I was 20 years old. Honestly, I wish I was 20 years old because I could do a lot more with myself if I was 20. I mean, I'm doing some stuff like I'm going and doing the yoga and stuff like that, which I never thought I would do yoga. People are telling me, oh, you should do some dance. And I'm like, dude, I can't see myself going. I just don't want to do it. It's just not me. I'm thinking about smashing someone's freaking face. I don't think about, like, that's not what I think about. But I went to the yoga because my one buddy, Christian, told me a long time ago, hey, I think, at your age, and this is probably 5 years ago when he told me this, at your age, I think yoga would be good for you. And I was like, come on. He goes, I did yoga. If I remember correctly, he told me he did yoga, and he was just drenched in sweat once he was done. And now I've taken 3 yoga classes. Today was very mellow and really a lot of stretching. But, every once in a while, they come up with these freaking poses and stuff you got to do, and it's like you're twisting your body. I got a bad hip. Not only that, I'm not as limber as I used to be. I mean, I am in my 60s. So I'm not like I'm in my 20s where I can just pop down and do a split like when I'm on the dance floor like I used to be able to do. And, that's the thing. How you used to be doesn't mean a fucking thing anymore. Well, all that matters is today. And I can't remember who I heard saying this, but he said something to the effect of, it has absolutely no bearing on what you used to do. All that matters is what you're doing right now. And, right now I'm challenging myself in the gym. I'm seeing how fast I can row 1,000 meters, 2,000 meters. I'm thinking, can I get through this next yoga class? I'm thinking, now I saw something, I did something the other day called body combat, which is, you do like Muay Thai and martial arts, like you do side kicks and stuff like that. But you do like Muay Thai drills, knees, elbows, punching and kicking. You do boxing, and it's to music, which I never thought I would do. But I'm doing it. And then, what was the thing I saw today? I forget what it was. Body something. It's where you're lifting weights, and the guy, and he's the same guy who does the body combat thing. He's an ex Muay Thai fighter. And the more that I think about it, I mean, I've heard this from so many people, from all kinds of influencers and all kinds of, people offline also. When you're working out, you feel better. You feel better about yourself. You feel better about what you're doing. And then I think about myself. And although I'm going to have another shot, might as well. Anytime I've been in a really good way or good things were happening, it was always when I was exercising very hard, very strenuously. And I know there's some people who don't think if you're 60 years old you should be pushing yourself too hard. But I always think that, if I did something like, if I did a row and I did 4 minutes and a half for a kilometer, tomorrow I should do 4:25. And the next day, if I can do it, I should beat that. And the next day, I should always be striving to beat that. Should always have some goals. As long as you do that, you stay alive, barring any traumatic injuries. So, I think that's important to remember. Thank you. And I'll be honest, there is part of me that when I get into the kind of shape where I go, okay, like now I noticed my endurance is a lot higher than it was, say, 2 months ago. Because I'm pushing myself. I'm doing rowing. I'm doing, all this aerobic shit. And I'm doing the Airdyne bicycle where I'm like pushing myself as hard as I can go. And the rowing's also. If I get in better shape, I'll go into a boxing gym. I'll go into a Muay Thai gym. Just to train a little bit, just to see how I do. I can't really do anything with my right leg because my leg, I got a hip replacement, and it's hard to do things with this leg, and it makes it hard to do a lot of things. But this leg, the left leg, is still good, still strong. I can still kick and everything, and so I'd like to go back in the gym. And then I did do some jiu-jitsu and some shoot boxing a long time ago. And I don't know how much jiu-jitsu I could do because of my leg. But you know what? I can try. And that's good enough for me at this point. I don't have to compete with all these guys who are 20 years old and who have been doing it since they were 3 years old. I already know what the deal is. That's the thing. You gotta accept your place. If you're 75 years old, the chances are that you're going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger are slim to none. Actually, none. You're not going to look like the old Arnold. Chances are if you're 40 years old, you're not going to look like him. Chances are if you're 20, you're not going to look like him. So, it's best to challenge yourself. How do you do those vertical jumps in the gym with a hip replacement? No stiffness, none. Had no effect on me. I mean, those boxes are... there is some give to the boxes. So when you jump on top of the box, you don't feel anything. It's when you come down. And the floor is firm, but it's there is a little bit of a pad, but I didn't step. Basically, I was standing there and I got into place, boom, and then jumped. But I used to be able to, I mean, this, again, this is then, not now. There was a time when I could, if you guys remember a Ford Pinto, I used to be able to jump onto the roof of a Ford Pinto I would take one step and boom, I could jump onto the top of the roof. When I say all this shit, I mean, I'm not bullshitting. It's not like I haven't done this. It's not like if I say, I'm not a chicken shit, I'm stupid enough to go and, get shot at or do stuff like that, I'll do it. I'm not a coward. I'm not, I take calculated risks, and, it is what it is. I try to tell the truth about stuff. Would I be scared to go up against somebody? Fuck yeah, that's like 3 times the size of me? Of course I would. Who wouldn't be? But that doesn't mean you don't take the step. And I think it was Tyson's old trainer, D'Amato, used to say, the difference between a coward and somebody who isn't a coward is the guy who isn't a coward takes a step forward. He doesn't sit back and go, I'm too scared to do it. I'd rather get knocked out trying than be a freaking coward and have to live with it all my life. But anyway, yeah, I used to be able to do that, but that was when I was about 21. So I just wanted to see, what can I do? And that was 30 inches. It was a 24-inch box and a 6-inch box. I don't think I can do 35 inches. They have another, I think it's 6-inch, it's either 5 or 6-inch box that I could put on top and I could try it, but I don't think I could do it. I think it's way too high. But the average football player, the average basketball player, they jump 35 inches. So I jumped 30 inches at 60 years old, so I'm fine. I'm proud of that. I'm happy with it. Like I said, I'm not competing against anybody else but myself. And that's the thing. I go into a fucking yoga class, believe me, I'm a fish out of water. It's like, touch your elbows to your elbows together, and I'm like, oh, fuck me. You want me to touch my elbows together? It's not easy. You want me to do, now I can do it after a couple of classes because they've been having me do it all the time. But when I went into first class, I was like, son of a bitch, you're killing me. This shit hurts. And the next day I was so sore. I think if you train hard when you're young, it can help with your training when you're older, even if you've had a long break. I agree. I definitely agree. Because here's the thing. I mean, I know I'm older, but like, I'm starting to see muscles I haven't seen in fucking years. And I've only been training for about 5 weeks. 5 fucking weeks. I told my wife, I said, she looks better because she's been training. She's been getting herself in shape. And she's got a trainer. And she looks good. She's starting to look good, Good morning, Mr. Monash, or good evening. And what I told her was, I said, listen, don't be too hard on yourself because now it's only a month, 5 weeks. Imagine in a year. And let me tell you something. These gyms that I'm going to, and I'm going to put a video up. Eventually I'll get the video done. I'll put it up. But the gym that I go to, yeah, there's, of course there's people there. They don't give a shit. They're old. They're just going there to do something, to try to stay active, and that's great. But there are some very, very fit people there. I mean, I was surprised. I'm surprised. And, it's not like I'm going into a boxing gym where if you want to be a boxer, you got to be fit. You want to be an MMA guy, you want to be a Muay Thai guy, you got to be fit. If you're not, you're getting to that point. And so I think that, like, all the stuff, one thing is, like, there's a guy in the gym, hell of a nice guy, Thai guy, he lives close to me. He says, look, oh, you're so strong, you look like Mike Tyson, blah, blah, blah. And I go, he obviously doesn't know boxing. He doesn't know shit about boxing. Or as Floyd May, what is it, Roger Mayweather? Or Floyd Mayweather Sr., I forget which one it was, and they did a skit on it with like Kevin Hart. Most people don't know shit about boxing. Well, I can tell you this guy, he didn't know shit about boxing. He's like, oh, you like Mike Tyson, all this other bullshit. But he's tall and lanky, and he has absolutely scrawny calves. I go over and he's doing calf raises, and he's using like 40 pounds. I'm like, dude, you're doing these easy. Why are you using 40 pounds? I mean, put some fucking weight on the bar. So then he pumps it up. He's like, oh yeah, I can do this. And then he puts a little more weight on. He's like, wow, I can't believe I can do this. I go, come on, push it a little bit. So like the last set, he ended up doing like, 110 pounds, 120 pounds, which isn't really that much. But he went up from 40 pounds to like 120 pounds because he tried it. He never even thought about trying it. And I go, you do this, you might gain some size in your fucking calves. 52 and doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for 10 years. I'm training with guys 18 to 35 years old, mentally and physically rewarding. I bet. I honestly wish that when I was younger, instead of picking up boxing, I would pick up Jiu-Jitsu. Because now I would be at a different level. Because boxing, it's like I went into the body combat thing the other day. And people are like, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And they can barely throw punches. And I'm just like, bop, 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 bop. Just because I got experience. And, I have experience, but I'm still an amateur. Now, if I had done jiu-jitsu, who knows if I've been doing jiu-jitsu for 35 years, who knows where I'd be. And you can always learn boxing, but, you can learn to box in a couple of years and you can become quite good enough. So I wish I would have done that, but I didn't. I just learned a little bit of jiu-jitsu. I took a couple of months of jiu-jitsu. I was a white belt, and I did some shoot boxing many years ago. People don't know what that is, but shoot boxing came from Japan. And it used leg locks and all kinds of stuff. Jordan had a 44-inch vertical. Holy shit, man. That's huge. And I think about it and I think, well, some of these guys are 6'4", 6'6", and they're jumping 35, 37 inches. So I look at it and I'm like 5'5", 5'6" at the most. When I got hair. And I'm jumping 30 inches. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I'm good. I was practicing footwork for 101 boxing on the oval by myself and fell over. The sweet science is hard. It is hard. It's very hard. And, it's so funny because I'm fucking 60 years old. The last time I was in the gym was with my buddy, Dave, who he's working with Indonesian fighters. He's working with all kinds of fighters now. And he's worked with world champion Thai fighters. Some really big names who have, like some amongst the biggest names in boxing. He worked with them because he had, his mentor was a British guy who was a well-known and respected trainer. And I trained with the guy, and it was funny because I remember people laughing at me. And I'm like, get your ass in the ring at 55 years of age. Get in the ring and see how you do. You'll be fucking dead in a minute. They're guys, they couldn't last a minute in the ring. So if I can do, 5-6 rounds in the ring on the pads and hit the heavy bag and jump rope and all this other bullshit, for me, I'm good. I don't have to compete against anybody else. If they want to laugh, they can laugh. If I look slow and old, go look at Muhammad Ali when he was training, when he was in his 50s or 60s. Because he trained, he still trained, he hit the bag. He doesn't look like Ali. But the fucking guy's still in the gym. Which is more than a lot of these fat fucks laying around and cowards who want to talk shit. It's a lot more than they're doing. And that's all you got to worry about. Or you got to think about. Shoot boxing is good stuff, along with Western boxing, Muay Thai, all good stuff. Yeah, I remember Spud Webb. He had a 46 in vertical. Holy shit, man! So he jumped higher than Jordan. Son of a bitch, man. You know, the one thing is that, although, let's put it this way, if you look at my stomach, it used to be, I had a pot belly. Or you could call it a, what was it that I was called? Beach ball. You can call I had a ball in my stomach. Now, it's a little bit out there, like an old man. But it's still like this. And you can start to see my abs. And I'm going to put a picture up. I put a picture up on YouTube. Or not YouTube, Instagram. If you go on my Instagram, there's a little thing that says like exercise or getting fit after 60 or something like that. You'll see that picture. I'm starting to have them again. And I'm like, you know what? That's the goal. For myself. Because it gives me something to do. It gives me something to think about. It gives me some reason to keep going on and pushing myself. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, what's the reason now? When you're like, okay, what are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to be 70 years old and I'm going to be pounding these guys. I'm going to be twisting their legs up like pretzels. I'm going to win at jiu-jitsu. I know there are some very old guys who do jiu-jitsu, but for the most part, guys who are 70 years old or 60 years old, they're not fucking doing jiu-jitsu. Let's look at the people in Thailand. You know how many 60-year-olds that are a bunch of fat fucks? And I can say that because I've been fat in my life and I've been fit. And I can tell you that fit is better. Fit is better for no other reason than you don't have as many concerns. And, you know, some people just have issues medically or whatever, and they get to the point where it just gets so hard to get themselves in shape that it's almost impossible. But that doesn't mean you don't have to keep trying. You know? And all the things that I'm saying now, all the things that I say like on Instagram now, all this shit, this is how I used to think when I was young. And I start to remember it now when I'm old, and I'm like, fuck me, have I pissed away 25 years? I got friends in the business, and I mean in the business of Muay Thai, of boxing, of fighting. I got friends that do this shit. And you know how it feels to go into a gym and you're the least fit guy out of all of them? And I've been that guy, and I've also been the other guy who was like one of the most fit. And, you know, I'll tell you what, I'd rather be the most fit guy in there than the least fit. Because you ain't getting shit if you're the most fit. But if you're the least fit, you're getting shit. Beer equals no abs. I haven't had a beer in... I don't know if I had one in Chiang Mai. Otherwise, maybe in Khao Lak. I know I had some martinis in Khao Lak. Boxing is new for me. I did not realize how many facets to it there were. Just watching ex-pro boxer who teaches on YouTube, then go try. You're talking about what's his name? Tony? Is it Tony? God damn it! What the hell's his name? Let me see. I follow him on Instagram, and actually, I contacted him. I talked to him. He's a nice guy, hell of a nice guy. I talked to his mother, and I photographed him in the Olympics. He's an Olympic boxer. He won a bronze medal. Tony Jeffries, that's what it is. Yeah, Tony Jeffries. He gives some great boxing advice, and he won the bronze medal, and I'm sure he was gutted that he didn't win the gold. And I photographed him. I got all kinds of photographs of him, and I sent him some photos, and I found out, I saw that his mother was following him or something, I don't remember, and I sent her a message. she sent me a message saying, you know, he's such a nice man. I'm so proud of him. And I was like, I bet you are. And then he contacted me. And then the other day, when I was, if you saw on Instagram or on YouTube, I put up a video where I was kicking the pad. Okay, we're back. It tells you 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. You know, 1, jab, 2, right cross, 3, left hook, 4, right hook, you know. It helped, just like Tyson used to do. You know, give me the 1, 1, 2, whatever. 1, 1, 2, 3, you know, 1, 4, 1, whatever it might be. So there's a machine. I was kicking it, and then I did another one where I punched it, and I sent it to him because, you know, he's the boxing guy. He's, you know, he fought pro and he stopped because of his hands being so just thrashed, which I understand because my own hands are thrashed from boxing, from fighting on the street when I was young, and from accidents and from all kinds of other things. And yeah, that's him, Tony Jeffries. Nice guy, and he knows what he's talking about. You know, life advice to a guy in his early 30s. Don't underestimate the power of money versus everything else. Don't let it rule you, but, you know, I wish I would have come here with 100 grand instead of 10. Gives me reason to keep fit, and it's interesting. Well, it is very interesting because there's a lot more, believe me. I'm a real basic kind of person. I understand that in many cases, boxing is about taking a guy who has a natural ability to fight and honing it to where they're able to learn some of the finer points of the art, like not getting hit, and when to attack, when not to attack, timing, distance, combinations, and then it becomes easy for them. But it's a lot deeper than that. And that's the thing, I can only go so far. I only know so much. And, you know, there's a hell of a lot more people that know far more than me. I did not realize how many festivals. I'm reading a book about the 82nd Airborne in W2. They trained in Jiu-Jitsu. Wow. Life advice is, yeah, British guy, yeah, exactly. Gives me a reason to keep fit. I cannot skip rope or wrap my hands, but those two I want to learn. At 61, it is pathetic, but I do not care. It gets me thinking. Listen, you never know. You never know. It might come in handy. At the very least, it'll get you healthier. And I think I put up a little clip tonight, or this morning, or whatever the hell it was, sometime today. I never remember. I put up a clip and I said, doesn't matter what you're doing. Go out and ride a bike. Go for a walk. Get on the rowing machine. Lift weights. Box. Do Muay Thai. Whatever the hell it is. Do something. Put the work in. You don't know how to skip rope, so learn. You don't know how to hit the speed bag, so learn. Listen, I have a hard time jumping rope now, and because of my hip. Now, if I'm on a soft surface, and I got the right kind of jump rope, I can haul ass. I can do really well. And you know, obviously I'm older. I can't do nearly what I used to be able to do, but I can tell you this. I will tell you this. I used to go to a place. It was Mount Sac College in Walnut, California. And one of the things that I did was I took, you know, I was going to school there, going to college there, and I took all the classes I had to take, and one of the classes was a physical education class. And I was really into kickboxing and karate and stuff like that at the time. I was about 21 years old. And what I used to do for the phys ed class, because the teacher didn't ever show up. They would just say, you're going to do this or that. You need to go in the weight room or you need to do something. And so I would say, okay, I'm going to jump rope. And I would jump rope for 30 minutes straight. And then I would relax for 15 minutes. And then I would jump for another 15 minutes. And I had the black girls from the university, some of the black girls would stop and watch me jump rope. Because I used to, if you ever see Duran jump rope, I tried to mimic him. And I'm not saying I was him, but he used to jump rope and he would bounce down and just keep jumping. And he would bounce down and up, bounce down and up. And then he would do doubles and he would do triples. And I used to be able to do all that shit. And I can't do that shit now. It's like a fucking whale trying to jump rope when, it's a different ball game. And wrapping hands takes practice. That's all it is. Practice, practice, practice. And yeah, just move forwards, backwards, side to side. If you want to move to your left, you move your left foot, and you stand in a orthodox stance. You move your left foot to the left. That's the first foot you move. Then your right foot comes with it. Then you want to move to the right, you move your right foot first, and then your left foot comes with it. You want to move forward, left foot comes forward. Some things never change, You're fighting a southpaw and you're orthodox, you want to keep your left foot outside of his right foot. I tuned in a little late to the stream. May I ask, what or how are you eating? I've been eating carnivore for a year now and I'm loving the benefits. I try to eat kind of like carnivore most of the time. Sometimes I eat keto. Sometimes I eat carnivore. What did I eat today? I had fucking A. My nose is just fucking stuffed up. You don't cross your feet. That's not something you do. You don't try to be Ali because most guys can't ever do that. What did I have? I had a big pork chop. I had a salad with, lettuce. No, I didn't have any lettuce today. I just had tomatoes because I ran out of lettuce. Had tomatoes. I had some kimchi, which I eat for my stomach. I had some bacon. And then I had an omelet, 3-egg omelet with sausage inside, garlic, and tomato. That was my meal for the day. That's the only thing I've eaten all day. Then I have the bulletproof coffee for breakfast. And what's funny is that I need to look at my older videos. Because I look at myself now. Yeah, I mean, some days I eat just nothing but meat. But I need to look at my old videos because, for the first 5 months, I did not exercise at all. And again, I will send a shout out to Carnivore Chronicles because he's the guy who really got me going. He lost 150 pounds. I look at it like, listen, if he can do it, I can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Don't give me that, and don't give me that bullshit. Oh, I don't feel like it. I'm tired. Just fucking focus on it. Whatever you want. Focus on. Every day I'm doing something. I'm gonna do some exercise. Do something, and you will do it. You can't go to the gym. Well, then start doing push-ups. Go for a walk. Do anything. Just do something, and that way you keep at it. One thing that it has done is make me watch boxing differently. I watch for moves. Now, understand slipping, switching, bobbing. Cannot do, mind you. Just moving forwards, backwards. It take me ages to learn. Yeah, I mean, I always liked Tyson because he had some good moves. And in fact, and I used to watch. When I was in the gym, when I was working in boxing, I used to watch Freddie Roach videos. Fucking gnats, man. God damn it. I used to watch Freddie Roach. He had a line of boxing videos where he would teach people how to do pad drills. Which I just loved it. And I would be like, wow, I never even thought about that. He's a master. Granted, he was a fighter too, but he was a master trainer. And he was so good. And I used to take those drills and take them into the gym. And I would show somebody something. I'd be like, hey, listen, try this, try that, try the check hook, try this, try that, And check hook is very hard to to do. You got to be really talented to be able to slip the punch at the same time as you're throwing a left hook. Hit the guy in the temple, hit him on the jaw, whatever, and to land it and to do something, do something that's going to cause any damage. Because in the boxing ring, in a professional boxing ring, the idea is that you damage the person every time you hit them. It's not that you just tap, 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 tap. Generally, that's not the idea. The idea is to beat the living shit out of the guy. It's a small change that helps. Have you done before? Actually, I need to do that. And I will probably do the cholesterol and get my blood work when I come back from my trip. Yeah, I don't know. I need to get a whole physical, a really good physical. I need to get that done. Congrats on your personal journey to improved health. Well, it's ongoing, but thank you. Interesting to see where Garcia goes from here. Poor kid trying to get back into Canelo camp. Listen, there's always a loser and a winner. He can do one of two things. He can bitch and moan. He already cut. Who the hell was it that he cut loose? He cut loose his trainer, Joe Goosen. Very good trainer. Excellent trainer. He cut him loose. Now, he probably cut him loose because he lost. He's looking for a way to find something different, shake things up, make them better. And it's understandable. It happens. This is the way it goes. But as far as where he goes, he made some mistakes in that fight that if you look at it and you watch what happened, he was just outpositioned. I mean, when he got nailed with that body shot, they were clinched. And then they separated. As soon as they separated, he was open. He was like this. His body, that whole side of his body was wide open. And he got nailed, that's the thing, Monash. Everybody thinks, I can fight, I can do this, I can do that. Yeah, okay, some guys, they have a natural ability. It's true. But most guys, they get into the ring with somebody who's skilled, and they'll get the shit beat out of them. I'm not talking about some guy who's 270 and another guy who's 115 pounds. I'm talking about they're fairly close. All things fairly equal. The guy who's skilled is going to beat the piss out of a guy who isn't skilled. If both triglycerides, HDL, both low, so important to have a high total, there's good, bad, yeah. Exactly. Apparently he got injured in training. There was a spine. All that's bullshit. All that doesn't matter. Oh, there's a spy. I was injured. Listen, how many guys are not injured when they go into a fight? How many guys are injured when they go into a fight? I guarantee you, knowing boxers as I know them, they're all fucking injured. They all have suffered, niggling injuries that they have for years. I know guys who had hand injuries and every time they hit, it hurt them. And yet they fought, and they fought another 30 fights. And the fact that there was a spy in the camp, listen, it's a fucking excuse. Oh, there's a spy who he got hit in the liver. Guys get hit in the liver. A spy, he's weak to the liver. We're not talking about Joe Louis drops his right hand after he throws his left hook or something like that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about, you should hit him to the liver. Okay, hit him to the liver. Julio Cesar Chavez did that, and he didn't need a spy. You know what I mean? So, I'm really big on this shit now. I'm really big on this. Don't fucking give me any excuses. It goes all the way across in all aspects of life. It goes to these people who are woke. They, you called me this, you called me. You can't say that. Fuck off. You're a pussy. You're a pussy, and you don't need to be worrying about this shit. Get on with your fucking life and stop worrying about it. That's not going to do a thing for you. You worrying about somebody calling you a bad word, calling you a motherfucker, isn't going to do anything. Why would you worry about it? And, I just said it today. It doesn't matter. You're tired. Oh, I don't feel good. It's this. fuck off. Don't make an excuse. The only thing that'll keep you from going to the gym or training or getting better at whatever the hell you're doing, whether it's playing piano or, being a porn star, doesn't matter. The only thing that'll keep you from getting better is yourself. It's not going to be anybody else. Don't blame anybody else. That's just the easy way out. And that's the mentality I used to have. Then when I got older, I was just like, fuck it, it's not a big deal. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I got lazy. I admit it, I got fucking lazy. I'll always be fit. No, you won't. You'll be fit until you get fat. Look at Mark Coleman, if you guys remember him. Mark Coleman, the UFC guy, used to be UFC champion. Or Mark Kerr. Both of them. Big fucking strong guys, super fit. And guess what? They got beat. They got beat again. They got beat up. They couldn't handle it. They didn't know what to do afterwards. They got fat. They got fucked up on drugs or whatever it was. Now Coleman has started to make a bit of a comeback. He's trying to train again. I don't think he really seriously wants to fight anybody very good or anything. I don't think he wants to fight. I think he just wants to get himself in shape. But he's doing it. And yeah, that's half the battle. Just showing up. Get your ass there. You think about it. Go to the fucking gym. And there's a guy I follow on Instagram. And all he says is, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I don't feel like going. Oh, I don't really think it's necessary. Just go to the fucking gym. My thing is just put the fucking work in. Whatever it is. Because, I think about it sometimes and I go, all this time I'm dicking around. Because it's human nature to be lazy. It's easier to be lazy. It's easier to be weak and just go, fuck it. Than to be strong and go, no, that's not okay. I don't want that. All right, here we go. One more shot. Fuck it. This is the last one, for sure. Because I'm already hammered. I already drank about 3 too many. I think that's 5. Jesus Christ. Maybe this is why I haven't been doing night streams. Listen, Butterbean was, he knew his limitations. And Larry Holmes beat his ass. A couple guys beat him. But, here's the thing. Would you want to get hit by him? Johnny Knoxville got hit by him and he was fucking asleep for like the next fucking 30 minutes. I wouldn't want to get hit by that fucking guy. Are you kidding me? He's like 340 pounds. You want to get hit by this guy? I mean, seriously. He fought Larry Holmes and Larry Holmes was older. But Larry Holmes still beat him. But the thing is, Butterbean was out of his depth then. Tyson is old. That's just the way it goes. But Tyson will kick the shit out of the average guy. I mean, really. Just hit him with a fucking boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3. But that's it. And I saw Tyson talking to Leonard on his show. He has a podcast. I think it's called Hot Boxing. Or Hot Box or something like that. Half the time he's fucked up. He's on weed. He's all stoned off his ass, or he's on mushrooms. He said he fought Roy Jones high on mushrooms, which is just hilarious. But he was telling Sugar Ray Leonard. See, now we're starting to talk boxing. I really like boxing because that's what I grew up with. I used to read boxing book after boxing book. I still have. Where's that one that I love? Oh, it's down here, I think. Yeah, no, that's Knockout Artist. Where the fuck is it? Better not have lost that. Where is it? I don't know what the fuck it's called. It's about all the great trainers in boxing. And they go all the way back Let me see here. The fuck happened? That was the one book I would never sell. Where is it? Nobody took it. I didn't lend it to anybody because I would never lend this book to anybody. Where the fuck is it? Now it's gonna piss me off. Son of a bitch. Knockout Artist, David Spade. And now I gotta find this book because this is a really important book to me. Cornerman, there it is right there. It's up top. If you guys like boxing, oh God. Here it is right here. Cornerman. This is probably, for me, one of the best fucking boxing books. Anything by Nigel Collins, if you want to look up his name. Anything by Nigel Collins, who is the former editor of Ring Magazine, and who, when I wrote for Ring Magazine, he was my editor, and he taught me a lot just in a few words. He would teach me a lot about how to write. But this book is fucking fantastic. It's about all the trainers and for the great fighters and how they dealt with things and how they dealt with the fighters and what the fighters would be doing in the training camps. It was fucking great. Great book. If you can get that book and you really like boxing, that's the book to get. But he was telling Sugar Ray Leonard. Tyson was telling Sugar Ray Leonard, when you punch and you throw a 1-2, boom, 1-2, it shouldn't be 1-2. And I learned this in karate a long time ago. You shouldn't hear boom, boom. It should just be brr. One sound. That's it. Bah. 2 punches, 1 sound. That's the goal. And if you look at Tyson when he was young, he used to do that. You know? And same with Leonard, because he was so fast. Anyway. I don't know what, listen, Tequila's talking now. We've been here almost 3 hours. I appreciate the conversation and, everything else. I'm going to try to put some more photos up on Instagram, but if you go to Instagram and you check out my exercise at 60, that's pretty good. If you go to my website, I got some stuff coming up on that website, some new merch that'll be going up soon. I don't know how soon, but it'll be in the next month or so, before I leave, hopefully. I got some stuff going on, new stuff going up, but there's always the old stuff at AmericanInBangkok.com. Like lead hand comes back as the other one hits. It should just be brah, right there. It shouldn't be boom, boom. It should be brah. The left hand is in the face, and before they know it, the right hand is right there. And it's easy to talk about it. It's hard to do it. So, you're welcome. Thank you for joining me. I went longer than I thought. What's new? I think my wife is asleep because I don't hear the TV. I don't hear her phone. Alex is gone right now. He's on some journey right now with his friends. I don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't remember. He went somewhere with his friends today. He'll be gone for a couple days. So it's just me and the wife. We're the empty nesters now. Which is, well, now I hear her phone. We're empty nesters now. kids are gone. But we will be with them for our journey abroad, and I'm looking forward to that. So hopefully I'll be able to stream from some cool locations. I'll have good Wi-Fi and all that stuff, or I'll have good internet, good 4G, 5G, whatever it is. I'm looking forward to it. So once again, thank you very much for joining me. If you could, before you go, click thumbs up, subscribe, become a member of the channel, whatever it is you want to do. Just keep watching. At this point, just keep watching. That's good. I appreciate that. You know. So, thank you. And really, thanks a lot to Michael Lee. I really appreciate it because I don't often get these kind of contributions, and I appreciate it. So, thank you to him and to everybody else. But I will talk to you guys later. Until next time, I am Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Chok Di Leo Jerkan Mai. I will see you tomorrow. We'll have another little conversation tomorrow. So, see you then. And yeah, have a good Sunday. Have a good rest of the weekend, wherever you may be. And I'll talk to you later.